we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back from this very quick break. Welcome back. It's the finale episode of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden of our playthrough. So, hell yeah, let's keep moving along. So you all appear in this room, this very strange pointy star room that has a bunch of tiny little crystals, and as you are standing firmly there, something materializes out of all of the light that is bouncing back and forth. It just looks like a human man with like slightly purplish skin, just bald, in a robe, very simple. Just looks stoked to be here, honestly. And he continues to float in the center of the room and says once again, "Hello, my name is Everlast. Welcome to the Spire. How can I help?"
Thank you.
Yes. It's so good to have you. It's been a long time since we've seen new faces around here.
Oh yeah. You seem nice.
Thank you.
Do you know where the Mythola?
Oh, yes,
is?
I do. He nods
Where?
and smiles.
Great.
Love that journey.
While I am here to help and to help guide people around and answer questions, I specifically cannot reveal the secrets of this city. It is one of my 2 rules. The rules that
What's the other rule?
behind my programming. Oh yes, my other rule, I must do everything I can to restore our city. That is why I was built.
Oh.
Irophilus, before
Right.
he lost his mind and became a floating skull, programmed me to help find a solution to the current conundrum. Alas, he has withered away, the apprentices have turned into nothics, and so it is just me, Everlast, ironically, lasting longer than all of them, which is
Nice.
quite
Could
unfortunate.
you tell us how did this city end up where it was? How it's come to be? How it has fallen?
Well, I can say that there is an artifact contained within these walls that conflicted with another artifact within these walls, and the interaction unfortunately caused the city to fall. I cannot be more specific than that. Rule number 2. I wish I could tell you more. Genuinely, I do. I would love to see this city restored.
What was the first rule again? You can't say.
I cannot reveal the secrets of this city. Hence, I cannot be more specific than what I just told you. But you should push on and find the Mytholar. I'm sure it will help you in whatever you seek.
Can you point in the direction of where it is?
I cannot. I cannot reveal.
Can you at
the
least point
secrets
in
of this city.
We would like the quickest route to the top of the tower. That
Thank
seems
you.
the most likely spot.
Well, that is tricky. Alas, I am built cleverer than that. But I can tell you that very nearby, there is a way to reach perhaps both the top of the tower and perhaps the Mytholar. And he shrugs, and he does. He just looks like a little old friendly grandpa. He just kind of continues to float there.
Hypothetically, that's a big one. If can all of us, can we use the magic, the Mythola, to make our wish come true? Will it kill us?
I do not know. The Mytholar possesses great power, more power than I suspect beings of your world have ever seen. It is a hefty amount of power that can accomplish many things. Though I do not personally know you or your capabilities, whether you would be able to channel or withstand its power is something I cannot know.
Just yeah, I probably can.
Mm. Well,
The mythalar that is contained here, in Ythrin, is unique, as all mythalars are. But this mythalar in particular required 8 full archmages of the city to enact its will, though they cast pretty incredible things. I suppose it depends what you are trying to accomplish, how many individuals you have, and how great your will is. That is the foundation of all magic.
Inga's just shooting like eyes at at Adverus, like
Veronica's doing the
I
same
done
thing.
told you.
Oh, sweetie, she might have been lying. Well, now we have confirmation. Like,
Avarice shrugs, like she's like, well, this tool could be lying too. She doesn't say that with her words, but we can
figure.
You feel it.
Drips off
Yeah.
of her face.
Ooh.
I just love the idea of both Inga and Veronica as he's saying this. We both just like slowly like, yeah. Do you hear what the purple bald man is saying? Like,
Ooh, I got a question. I have a question.
Yes.
Is there the thing, the magic, there's the mythalar, and then the other thing, and then it turned it off. Is the thing that turned it off, is it still kicking around?
It is somewhere in this spire, yes.
Oh, okay.
But I am not telling you anything you don't already know. That is why I can confirm that for you. And he winks.
Well,
I
what's
blink,
the
I guess,
closest
with my one
exit
eye.
here?
Oh.
oh no.
What was that, Mindy?
What is the closest exit to the next room? Is it?
Right behind you. Then he looks at the window on the far side of the room that you
Listen,
just came
I
in
just
through.
met you, but that was rude.
I
Where's the next closest exit to the next room?
I am sorry. I cannot reveal the secrets of the city. The secrets of the city are not something I can reveal to you.
Okay, thank
They
you.
are
Have
secret.
a nice day.
Do you
They
know
are
any-
Minnie just
secret.
Is it a secret if whether or not there's a study somewhere in this spire? Will we come across one?
And he looks frustrated for a moment. There is a study. There are many studies included in the spire of a wizard city.
Okay.
But
Well,
the
where-
way towards them is secret.
Sweet Jesus.
He keeps
Were
saying
there
any-
secret
Only
louder
about
and louder. Like
I'm gonna
trying
start
to-
looking around this room.
Yeah.
Minnie's-
Yeah.
Are there
everybody
maybe some
fan out,
secret
look around.
doors?
Yeah.
Why don't you make... Oh, really? Is that what he's trying to tell you? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and somebody make a perception check if you all are looking with advantage as you are helping each other out. So whoever has the highest...
Please allow me.
Score.
Yeah,
I
I
have a
think-
+9.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What do your... I was going to say elfin, but you're not an elf, so...
Definitely not a no.
Centaurian eyes.
That is a natural 20.
Oh my
You-
god.
Plus
Alright,
9
alright.
for 29.
So
Oh.
even with like this man yelling secret is clearly is pointing you towards the secret door, is what he's trying to tell you. And even with that, and you all looking, it takes you all quite a while to find this secret trap door that has been put in the ceiling directly above, because it has been really well hidden. Like, it was a DC 20. So somebody has invested quite a bit of time in trying to make this hidden. But you can now clearly see that Inga has pointed it out, like, there is a trapdoor that you can open up and climb up into the level just above this room. And this man lets
do
out
it.
a woo, kind of like shakes some imaginary sweat off of his holographic forehead. I was a little
Nice.
worried you weren't going to find that.
Well, we're very capable.
Rude.
Oh,
How the fuck am I gonna get my old ass up there?
Oh, I got it.
Next
Here.
question.
Hey, give me that rope. Would you? Somebody. No.
It's
Oh,
still.
now we
I'm pretty
dress
sure it's
rope.
still
It's
wrapped
still
around.
around.
Oh, now
Yeah, it's
we
still
dress
wrapped around.
rope.
And
Okay.
how tall is the ceiling? Did you say?
So the default in here, all of the ceilings are 30 feet tall, unless I say otherwise.
Ooh.
Okay, so
give
I
you a
can roll
boost.
Cool.
an athletics check and then add that number to my normal jump.
Yeah, I mean, you have a ridiculous jump. I am sure with
Yeah.
enough time you can make this check.
So it's my normal jump height, which is pretty good because I'm really strong, plus 21 feet. Can I just Mario my way up there? Just,
So just standing on the ground, you do the highest jump in the
Yahoo!
world, like a goddamn mutant from X-Men. You like throw your body up, and it's alarming. And you land
That
up
power.
there. And as you do, and the rope, slingshots down as you land on the stone floor up above, you do see that there is a roll down ladder that can be kicked down below at the top.
there's a
Convenient.
ladder.
Good, because none of us are jumping like that.
Yeah. Well,
I'll kick it
also, this
down.
tower was built for mages, so it occurs to you that nobody
No.
lives in this tower.
No. Someone's like, mage hand, go.
Climbing a rope like in gym class is probably not an option for any of these people.
We would never
Rope
believe
ladders are
ourselves.
still not the easiest either, though.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how does Inga fare with a rope ladder?
Well, honestly, the wizards of Netherese, like, of the Empire were just flying and, like, floating and levitating fucking everywhere. So they just wasted magic like it was nothing. So you can probably
Needs these
assume.
spell slots, yeah.
This
You
is
know, the
for
rope
help.
ladder's for servants, basically.
Mm.
For the maid.
For the help.
Right. Can you not do magic? Oops, sorry.
Oh, would it be? Oh, you can't see invisibility all the time.
I
Oh,
just
Oh my
imagine
God.
Dork.
The most angry maid who's just mumbling to herself like, "Oh, you can fucking
Hate
stone shape me some goddamn
God.
stairs."
that's why they
I
made
swear
their
to
own
God.
magic, because they were tired of real people complaining.
Right. I'm pretty sure some of them were assassinated by the maids
Yeah.
who got real fed up. Like,
For sure.
Great
Can't
stuff.
trust anyone.
So, as people, I guess, are climbing up, I think I might shout down to the old EverQuest.
Everlast.
Yeah.
EverQuest, Christ.
Sorry, we're on quest. It's confusing. Anyway, if it's not a secret, what kind of hints would you give us? You have any hints?
He leans down and closer to you,
Oh, my head like poking through the trapdoor in the ceiling.
kind of says, "Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure you understand, my friend. I cannot give you such hints. But the good news is, now that you're on this side of the tower, I can accompany you on your journey and answer
Sweet Jesus.
other questions that aren't specifically secret. My holographic crystals are placed through the entirety of the rest of the tower. So I will be there with you every step of the way."
Oh Lord. Okay.
Oh, cool. You talk to Dr. Ball. He
Oh
goes
no,
famously-
please don't.
I was about to say,
You
pull
hear
up
a-
Professor Scant.
Oh no.
Like from the
Sitting
back.
there going back and forth like Siri and Alexa.
Yeah. Do you release Professor Scant this time?
Oh.
I don't know. Would Villian
Oh,
be
yeah.
keeping it secret from old
Yeah,
a-hole?
you all start
Oh.
saying that, and Velian goes,
Being kooky, who knows?
Mm.
it does seem like
I've
Velian
noted.
doesn't.
I've had scant to eat today. Let's proceed.
I can't wait.
Velian nods like, "What the hell?" And then Avarice doesn't give a fuck about whatever
Yeah, she-
you're rambling about. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She's not paying enough attention. She's like waving for you all to get up the ladder as
Let's
quickly
go,
as possible.
let's
Okay, all right. let's do it.
We would have gone up there first. She's like, "Oh no, it's my turn to go first now."
No. She waits for you all. She's just waving for you to go before
Oh,
her
okay.
because she's getting tired of this bullshit. So you all head up the rope ladder.
We could always cut it when we get up there, so she and her knights can't.
Magic ladder.
No, it's fine. Come on.
No, this is fine.
Sorry, I accidentally kicked it out.
Whoops.
Weird.
Oh,
This
these
time-
stumbled.
clumsy feet.
then
Oops,
she'd
it's
just
fine.
fly up and be like, "What?" And you're like, "Oh,
Her fine.
Anyway,
To use a spell.
no, she doesn't. No.
We're good.
She'd make all of her nightstand like a human pyramid, and then she would
Oh my
step
God.
on them and then
Power
get up
move.
there rather than use a spell slot to prove something. Or just
We're
have one
all
of her
so petty.
gargoyles fly her up, honestly. She's got 2 gargoyles.
Oh yeah,
also.
I forgot about them.
You ascend into an oval hall glittering with frost. Carvings decorate the walls and long icicles hang from the ceiling. A 10-foot radius dome of translucent ice encloses the area around the shaft from which you emerge. At the far end of the hall, 2 blade-shaped patches of pitch darkness hover in the air to either side of a double door. A glowing green crystal, roughly the size of a human fist, is set into the arch above the doorway.
What are those black
Blade-shaped
things?
Void. Like,
That's
just
what I
devoid of
asked.
light? Just a...
Yep. It looks,
Ooh.
and it's like, if you've ever seen that paint that's like the color of like true black,
Mhm.
like that freaky, like you look at it and you're like, oh my God, it's the true absence of light. That is the color of these things that are shaped like swords that are just hovering by this door. And the door it's pretty far away from you now at this point. It's maybe about 60 feet away from where you are. So down this kind of long corridor. But you are currently under this dome of light that is illuminating you all.
Is the darkness magical in any way?
Why? Do you have something that will let you see through it, or you don't
Oh,
know?
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like warlock invocation, I can see through magical darkness.
Oh, okay. So you just have that on all the
Right.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you would see that the darkness around these things in here, it's all natural darkness, but whatever these things are made up of, they are magical, but in the way creatures are magical. It's not like they're cast in darkness. These things look like that, and it's jarring. It's weird because, honestly, it's the same way when you saw those hands that were made of force. It's that same, like a spell that's been given living sentience as you were
Are they
looking
like
at
the?
it.
Do they seem similar to the shades or shadow creatures that we fought while we were making our way to here? The ones that almost murdered Velia?
No, wait. Which
Cthulhu
ones?
behind
No,
the
like
eyes.
more like the Big B's hands that you all fought before you got to the lighthouse. That is the exact same kind of energy.
Oh,
These things.
okay,
are
cool.
giving
No, I was
off.
just wondering if they were like the sentient magical darkness that we fought, like the
No.
ones that were radiant.
Mm-mm.
Does it seem
Vulnerable.
like is that crystal in the keystone or whatever it is above the arch? Is that glowing in a enemy weak spot kind of way?
Oh my god,
Um,
giant eyeball! Like aim here.
I suppose Joe the human would think so. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know if
you're
that
right.
would occur to
No,
Gob.
no. But is it glowing or?
It is glowing,
Oh.
kind of sickly.
Well,
But yeah, the swords continue to
mages-
float there. They don't seem to be doing anything. You're still pretty far away from them, but they're
Do we
hovering
still
on
have
either
our
side of the
staffs?
doors. Yeah, yeah, you still have them with you. I will say
I
they
just
are
wanna-
all just cool spell focused staves. That's all
Focuses.
they are. There's nothing else to them except for the staff Minnie has. It is pretty badass. It's super bummer you put it in your bag.
Oh man.
The rest, they're
So
just
if-
normal staves. They're not the answer to a puzzle or anything. Sorry, kids.
Mm.
But they're very
Well, I just
cool.
wanted to wave it around and see if it did anything,
Mhm.
but I guess
Sword
it's a
fight.
stick now.
Well, it's a very beautiful and well-carved, expensive stick. That probably
And it
belonged
matches my outfit.
to a wizard. Yeah, to a asshole wizard at some point. So you're giving it new home, new purpose.
Right.
Mhm.
Hey, mages, any idea on what to do here?
Avarice says, I think one of you should walk over there. See what happens.
Christ, do we still have our kobolds?
Wait.
Yes, you have 3
I don't
kobolds.
know if I can use my archaeologist feature at all. in this room and kind of try to ascertain what the purpose of that green glowing gem is?
I would say this is going to be more of an Arcana check than an archaeology. Because honestly, there's no like specific runes or symbols or way it's carved that would like indicate a cultural significance. But Mage is doing weird shit here, so.
I got a 17 on the die plus 9.
Okay.
So 26.
So this big green glowing crystal, crystals are used for a variety of purposes in magic. This might be something similar to like how slads, there are these aberrations you've studied in books before. They have these things called control gems, which are like big gemstones that whoever holds them controls them. So maybe that's like something similar here, or if these things are living spells the same way Big B's hands were, like maybe this is part of creating them or making them. So it's not infeasible to think that the gem probably has something to do with animating these things. And the fact that they haven't reacted yet, it's maybe if you all get closer to the gem, they might respond, would be your best guess.
Should we break the gem from here? Might dispel them.
Would I think that this is something where we want to get the gem to control them or destroy it to get rid of them?
Either are possible. Either could also make the situation worse. You don't really know, but you know that.
Okay. Well, let's try to get that big sparkly gem, and if shit goes south, we'll try to destroy it.
Wait. I think we did the last one. I jumped out the window, so I think it's time for one of your goons, Avarice, to...
You're not in a position to negotiate, darling.
Tit for tat, I say.
No.
I stand real wide. Can I try to intimidate? Make an intimidation check with my 3.5 foot
roll
tall.
with disadvantage.
Sweet,
because she clearly has the upper hand.
What if I back up to my squad? No.
Oh my god!
Right.
Everyone just strikes the pose. It's fine.
She is so confident in her position of power over you. It's intolerable.
Well, if I can use my my strength for the intimidation when I flex my muscles, like we talked at the very beginning, that's a +9, 13 and a 15, so that's a 22.
Okay, she got a 25.
But I'm flexing so hard.
Both arms.
And she's like, well, you're clearly very strong and a little bit full of yourself, so you should go. I'm sure you can handle it.
Oh my god, it's not that big of a deal. Veronica will cast Mage Hand and grab the fucking orb, or grab onto it. Like, doesn't move it yet, but just like places said Mage Hand on top of it to see if anything happens.
Yeah, and you do, and as you touch it, you can try and pull a little bit. The gem is firmly set into the wall here. So it's been like, cement has been used to like put it in the wall. So getting this thing out, prying it out, is going to take probably some thieves' tools and a couple rounds of trying to do it real hard. Your Mage Hand is absolutely not going to be able to move it.
Do the darknesses like react, move, vibrate?
They do not.
All right.
Let's go.
All right.
Come on, I'll cover you.
I gotta save face a little bit from my Anyway, I'm gonna head towards the door and keeping a wary eye out on the knives of darkness or whatever they are.
Right.
I'll do a little running jump and try to latch onto this gem and wrench it as hard as I can. I have a crowbar actually in my bag too.
Hell yeah.
Veronica has thieves tools. Like Veronica is proficient in thieves tools. Like in case you want to delicately get this thing out of the socket.
No, I'll just flying overhand, drag the crowbar in there.
So I will say, the moment, and you spring in there, and I think because you move so fast and you jump so far, you don't even notice this, but everyone behind you does. The moment you get within 30 feet of these things. They come in swinging with everything they've got. And here we are, initiative. Boom, boom.
Every time, Gob. Every time.
Every
They
time.
told
All
me
right.
to.
Okay, so do you all want to go ahead and run through your initiative for me? And just so we all know, we're going to be using this just same initiative through the whole episode for the folks at home to speed things along. So what's your order, kids?
Veronica, 21.
Okay.
Ellie, 21. Minnie, 20.
Gob got a 16.
Okay.
Inget got a 9.
Ina's a 6.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Tell me right now, what is the subtle differences between these two blades?
Ooh. One
says. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, you do one and you do the other. So, Joe,
Okay.
What is the first one? Tell me, and then
One's
Sage will
the
tell me.
shape of
second
a
one.
big butcher's knife.
Ooh.
A cleaver. Just
Yeah,
Oh,
cleaver,
the
yeah,
butcher
yeah.
blade.
yes.
Love that. Okay,
The
so
butcher.
all right, the first one is the butcher blade, and then Sage, what is the second one?
The other one is a scimitar.
Ooh,
Oh,
scimitar. Neat. Okay, here we go. Ooh, ooh, that be fast. That's concerning. But Veronica, you see this happening first before any of your companions. You see Gob jumping in there like midair, reaching for the gem almost in slow motion as you see both of these blades starting to like activate and curve around for those sharp slices. So Veronica, you have the first action here. What are you doing as you're seeing your bow about to get ribboned, cut to ribbons?
She will shriek, and as she does, she'll pull back like she's holding a bow, and one will like appear in her hand. And as she lets the arrow go, you see this like kind of black aura follow it. It will hit the blade first. She's casting Hexblade's Curse as a bonus action as 2 arrows launch out and stab into it, trying to like pin it to the wall before it can hit Gob.
Cool. Which one are you, the scimitar or the butcher's knife?
The butcher's knife.
Okay.
Does it have the little hole like at the very top corner that she's trying to aim to and like pin it to the wall?
Like pin
Love
it,
that.
stick it in there.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So the first one's a 19.
19 will hit.
Nice. So what is this? Longbow? 1d8. Yep. 5. So 15 damage for the first. And then the next
that
one's
is magical damage, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
My conjured hexblade weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one is a 27.
Yes, both
Yeah,
of those.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
That one's 18 damage. These
Okay.
2 arrows just
So
like
it was
slam
I'm sorry, it
into
was 19 for the first one?
15 for the first one,
15.
19 for the
Okay.
second.
All right, pulling out the calculator. Might as well do it right now. Okay, yeah, so 33 damage. Ow. Okay. So yes, your magic weapon impacts this magic weapon, and it's very strange as you look at it because they look like the outline of a sword, but they're not. As you're encountering them, they are this nebula of darkness that you see your arrow lands, and then it slowly is pulled and sinks into this thing, and this like pulse of like green and black light spills out of it, and you're not sure if you damaged it or what. But it was very odd as you strike one of these blades. Anything else for you?
Nope, that's it. I have its attention now, so there's that.
Oh, you certainly do. You certainly have its attention. Cool. And then the scimitar blade that wasn't interrupted is going to go ahead and take a swing at Gob in midair in this moment here. So, so it comes around here. Okay, only a 10. only a 10 on that swing, but it's gonna swing again. So the first one, you hear like a shh as it goes under your feet. And then now, as you're flying, woo, because this is all happening simultaneously, you see that scimitar, that wicked blade curve around for that second swing that is traditional of these light weapons. And with a 17, unless you're doing anything tricky, that'll hit you.
I'll burn my reaction to put my tail in the way, do a little swipe, and that will let me add a D10 to my AC for just this attack.
Doggo moments, go!
So even without my conscious knowledge, my my big bushy tail just...
It really is. It's like it's like cats. You're like, oh my god, that you're not controlling that. It's like a third arm. It's its own creature, truly. Okay, so your tail flips up in the way, and at the last moment, you just lose a few bristles as something in your brain tells you, like, 90 degrees, and your tail, like, flips up. And so you see this black scimitar slide over you, just having given you a haircut, and prepares for the next, like, strike. Bummer. So with that, we are going to head down to Velian, and then Minnie. So
let's
Joe,
see.
if you need to pull her up, Minnie, you can go. And then
I got it.
Velian. Okay.
Let's see. Oh boy. Well, she didn't want God to die. It's his favorite. She'll pull out.
You've decided
Wand of
that.
Magic Missile.
as the
It's on the
mechanical
sheet, it's
controller.
She'll pull out the Wand of Magic Missiles, and I think she probably got 4 charges.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, something like that. 4, 5, 6. She'll. Just all charges into the scimitar because it came close to her favorite boy.
My favorite boy, her second.
So that's all right.
I don't know. Villian and I really made a connection last time.
I'm the only one who can talk to her about books.
Villian hates all of us equally.
No, she loves us.
Plus upcast 21 points of 1 plus 1 to each of the dice. Oh boy. I think it's plus 6. Oh, my math is all screwy. Let's say 21. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 21. So she's using all the charges.
Yeah, I think that's all of her remaining charges as a streak out. And
is she firing at the butcher blade, which has taken damage, maybe, or the scimitar blade, which has not been hit by anything?
I guess probably actually the butcher's knife. Then, if it looks like the arrow did something to it.
Well, it's
not
hard
much,
to
but,
say.
Yeah.
It's you watched an arrow kind of disappear into a black hole, so. But you pepper this thing with force energy, and you can see the blue and the white sparkles kind of exploding against this thing, and it maybe the blade looks thinner than it did before, but it's so hard to tell. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and Minnie, we are at you.
Wait, 1 sec. I rolled because I used all the charges on the wand.
No.
Oh no!
See, on a 1 it crumbles into ashes. I got a 2.
Oh god!
You hear her go, no, and it gets it glows bright red, and she goes and blows it out.
Hang in there.
And it becomes fine, and she goes, oh jeez, and
god!
Puts it back in her wand holster because.
Love it.
Arcane
love
Brotherhood
it.
assholes have wand holsters.
A wand holster. Please tell me she
They say
spins it a
AP
little
on
bit,
them.
blows on it and spins it, just yeah.
Well, she tries, but she has arthritis in that hand, so she goes and then shoves it back.
Lowest arm in the West.
She hands it to one of her undead kobolds, who spins it around really rapidly and puts it
Yes.
in her holster for her.
Yes.
And goes like,
love
thumbs
that.
up, and then she goes, thumbs up back and cringes.
No points.
Oh
Love
my
them.
god. Okay.
All right, Minnie, how you following that up?
Yeah, Minnie is just going to go ahead and start looking like she's gonna do like the two-handed bowling ball throw.
Yeah.
And cast a chromatic orb as this ball of lightning just shoots out towards the one that's been maybe damaged.
Hell yeah! All right, do I roll a thing? Do I what?
No,
do
I'm
I
gonna
do?
try to hit it.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, I got my new dice, yeet. So that's a natural 20.
Yes.
Bro, hot.
The
Yeet.
granny
This
roll.
ball
Get 'em
of
all out now.
lightning.
Get them all
What kind
out
of damage
now.
type are you picking?
It's fine.
Lightning.
Casually.
Lightning.
Go, 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 go. Let's see.
4, 4, 5, 9, 15. And then sorry,
So
20,
much math, so many dice.
20, 23 lightning damage.
Whew. All right, what does it look like when you destroy this living black blade of disaster?
Yeah, so she
Jeez.
goes and she kind of like puts her legs out and this ball forms that she like limply throws, and it starts out really slow, and as it starts to gain momentum, it starts to expand, and then right as it touches it, it condenses into this really bright burst of lightning, and when you can see again, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Everyone's hair is just like standing on end. Like,
And then, yes,
oh,
the butcher's blade is gone. It has been just poofed out of existence. Yeah, one of them is down, and you can see the green crystal flickers, evilly. But it's just the one blade left, apparently. Which is going to bring us now to Gob, who in this moment lands on that crystal, because that is what you were jumping for, and you were not interrupted.
gripped
So
it,
here
gripped
you are,
it.
you have it gripped, and you can get your like the nails, the edge of your claws now that have been sharpened by your lycanthropy. No matter what you do, they seem to sharpen into talons overnight. So
Sure.
even if you cut them, it just so you can feel it in there, but it's pretty wedged in there. So you're gonna have to, you want to get it out. It's gonna take some doing.
Well, and yeah, just got a haircut. Nothing makes me more angry than
Then haircuts.
a
it'll
haircut.
grow back. Like, oh my
No.
god.
You've
So,
stolen my soul.
Oh my
Gob
A
is going
piece
to
of me.
gonna fly into a rage and
Mm-hmm.
get my long snoot and my claws even more claws as the foam
so
comes out of
fierce.
my mouth, and I'm just gonna try to absolutely wrench on this thing as hard as I can to
Okay.
get it out of the wall.
So let's do it like this. So I think you definitely win the attack because you're there, you're on it. So let's see how much damage you can do to this thing, like in one fell swoop, to see if you can like destroy the plaster and stone that is holding this thing in place and rip it out of the wall.
Okay, so attacks hit. All right.
Yeah. So the attack auto hits, so go ahead and do like full damage it would take for one attack, and then
Okay.
let's see how that do, and then maybe another one.
First attack's 14 damage,
Okay.
and second
so yeah.
attack is 13 damage.
Okay. So I think with that, it is enough to like, because you're trying to get this thing out, and you're like, what the. Who put this in here? Like it was extra secured. Like people who were just obsessive about architecture and their traps and just obsessive about everything made this. So your first pass, you're like pulling
Wizard
at the
glue.
wall. You can see cracks
Wizard
forming.
glue.
Yeah, paint like chipping off the walls, stone flying everywhere. And you're like, fuck! And with the second attack, finally you manage to like rip this thing out, and you get a whole chunk of wall. And yeah, maybe they use sovereign glue to put it in there. Actually, now that you're thinking about it, because you took a bunch of the wall with you, you're not holding the like just the gem itself. You're holding the goddamn wall like in your hands as you rip it out. So you land on the ground now with this chunk of plaster and gem.
Yeah.
The blade does not seem to be stopping in any way. It seems to be mid-swing, still coming towards you. So what are you doing?
Yield! No, is it...
You can say that. It does not seem to
Yelling at this
respond
dark
in any way.
Right. There's no yielding.
You get that sickening feeling that this probably wasn't a control gem.
Well, I will hold it in, I don't know, as a partial shield. And to this coming blow. Unless I could toss it to somebody, I don't know. But that might be too much.
No, I'll say, I mean, you used your action to do the attack. So if you want to go ahead and huck it to someone, I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Hot potato.
Whoever seems like they're paying attention, either Veronica or Minnie or Xena.
We're all
so
paying
Xena,
attention.
yeah.
You're being
I will say, so right after you, it's going to be
comes
Inga
rock.
and then Xena are going. So they would have actions immediately after you. Are you both paying attention? I
Just
think
in-
everybody's paying
in-
attention.
In the split second.
Xena has
I'll
her
go
hands
to Xena
open.
then. Yeah.
Okay.
Dunk
Yeah.
it.
I'm ready to catch it, little buddy.
All right. So you
Bold, I think,
overhand it,
catch it.
and then it comes flying towards you, Xena, and you can catch it. And Inga, in the meantime, while the gem is like traveling through the air here, we come to you. Does not seem like the scimitar is responding to any kind of control from the gem, so...
With that, she takes on her familiar archer starry form, and she shoots out a radiant beam at the scimitar that remains.
Yeah.
Pew pew pew. With a 19 to hit,
Oh shit, that'll hit.
and with now since we're level 10, her damage went up from 1d8 to 2d8
Oh,
plus her
Ooh.
Oh wow.
plus
That's a
her
big
wisdom.
blast, eh?
Oh,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
baby.
eh?
So that is 17 radiant damage.
Oh.
Ooh.
The radiant
And
seems
as
to
her
be
action, she's
swallowed
at-
like everything else, but I guess that's doing damage.
Ooh.
It doesn't seem
guess
particularly
it's doing
vulnerable
damage,
to
yeah.
radiant. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine. As long as it seems like it's having about the same effect. With that, she is then going to use her action to cast Guiding Bolt on it,
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
and that is going to be an 18 to hit.
So
Yes.
many shining lights.
Yes, yes.
All right, it'll take 4d6 radiant damage, which is 13 more radiant damage that she throws at this thing.
Rude. And I dislike it.
Shing, sparkle, sparkle.
Rude.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Yep. It has no reaction because it's a sword.
It's a sword.
It's an
Sword.
S word. And that is her turn.
All right. Xena, we come to you. You see your friends firing
Holding this
weapons,
piece of wall.
bolts. Yeah, holding, yes, a gem, half of a gem, and a whole piece of wall that has been ripped out. Like,
Way more wall than gem. At this
yeah,
point.
there's like wood, there's plaster dust that's falling now onto your hands, and you are holding this.
Oh my god. Pink
I will-
insulation.
I will say though, Xena, what's your passive perception? Probably pretty high. You're cleric.
It's a 12.
Okay.
Oh, perception. Wait. Yes, yeah, no, it's a 12.
Really? What's your wisdom score? Are you not proficient?
14.
You're not proficient in perception? Or I guess if you are, if
Perception.
it's only 14 as a cleric? Hot patootie. Okay. Never
I
mind.
am not.
All right. Then you would not notice anything. You are holding this gem and this is happening. What are you doing?
Well, I want to know what the hell we're supposed to do with this gem. So I'll look around the room, see if there's something else that requires a gem-like shape. Tap on the gem a few times with the staff.
Yeah, it seems pretty hefty. Like a fist-sized glass gem, maybe.
What do you want me to do with this?
Bust it? I don't know.
Bust it.
Bust it.
You hear Avarice from the back. Bust it. She is standing 30 feet back, so she is like yelling down the hall from you. She
Bust
gives me
it.
big Melody vibes, honestly, from our descent over. And it's like, I'm back. I'm as far away as possible, but still within 120 feet. A firebolt is like her
That's fine.
her play. So tieflings be like that, I guess. I don't know.
That's about right.
Farrah was
Right.
also always all the way back there. So what is it with tieflings? You know what I mean?
I was always in the middle of battle.
There you go.
All right, well then maybe I'll simply try. I'll put it on the ground and like with divine strike with my mace, swing it down onto the gem.
Cool. Cool. So I'll say you auto hit on that, but tell me what that damage be. And you know what? Give me a critical hit because it's right there. It's on the ground. Like you can take time to line it up.
Oh,
What would critical hit be?
cool.
So double your damage dice for all
That's-
things. So the weapon dice for your mace, and then also for the radiant damage you'd be dealing here.
So 5 damage from the mace and then 6 radiant damage.
Okay. That was rolling double dice.
Double that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
Oh,
Okay.
I rolled a
Just-
1 and a 5.
What's
Wow.
your strength, right?
But you roll the dice twice. You don't just double it. So if you rolled a 1 on the mace.
I rolled the dice twice.
Oh, okay. For each?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
I rolled a
cool.
1 and a 5.
And then
Oh.
also for your radiant damage? Don't you roll?
Yeah. It's 6 for the mace and then an 8 for the radiant damage. 1d8.
But you'll roll 2d8 now because it's double.
And I did. I rolled
Oh
a
my
1 and a
God,
5.
This is terrible. Okay, all right. So I'll say though, so in total you got at least 10 damage, and you have a radiant strike, and you used divine strike, and you did the thing. So you like channel your full power of God as you come down here and like smash down on this thing.
Power of Christ can help.
It is not as effective
not
as
that
you
mighty.
thought it was going to be. Because boy, you know
Oh my God.
they make these glass gems harder than you last thought. But as you bring it down, you give it like a tap, and you're like no, and then like do the full thing, which will give you the 10 damage. And this thing blows apart, it kind of into like green sickly dust. And as it does so, for the rest of you who are closer and have higher passive perception, I think probably Gob, because you're like right there at the end of the hall, you were starting to see another
14.
like black swirl of energy starting to form on the other side of the room. So you think as long as this gem was active, these things would have just kept spawning and spawning and spawning, no matter how many you destroyed. And as the gem is smashed, that cloud dissipates, and that scimitar bursts into black light. And your door halfway
Yeah,
seems
good
to be
job,
free.
Zena.
You're like
Thank
breathing with
goodness.
all your might to only do the 10 damage to smash this thing.
Busted.
Ooh, you did it. It looked like you might have tweaked your back a little in that swing, but you did it.
Yeah, I don't use my arms very much.
I'm a
magic.
spellcaster. Like,
Normal leg day, girl. I got it.
I don't know if
got
I've
you.
ever done a pull-up in my life.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
not. Owie.
Ugh.
Yeah, and it like shook your arms, and you're like, owie.
Oh, I've pulled a muscle.
Mm,
sweet
Uh,
lord.
I need
Okay.
some,
It's no more.
some Pedialyte.
A little
Alright.
dehydrated after
Oh.
that. Like, his armor's real heavy all of a
my
sudden.
electrolytes are down.
Can I take a short rest?
Oh my goodness.
Oh no! Everest is like no, and then
Absolutely not.
And then the knights start marching forward, the 9 remaining knights, heralding you all towards the double doors that were being guarded, as clearly Avarice is getting impatient. She's like, we've only got like an hour. go.
Oh, hurry the hell up, guys.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think
God. So the doors. So are we still maintaining the same order as before?
sure.
So that'd be Inga and Gob in the front.
I think
Five
Gob's all
Knights.
juiced up with
The
prospects
Veronica.
of battle, so
Mhm.
he's hot to
Mhm.
trot.
Mom will let me go anywhere, so.
Woo, woo.
Inga
Alright.
will literally trot.
Who is opening the door, Gob or Inga?
Gobble, kick it open.
Okay.
He's feeling saucy.
All right. So you kick open and you see before you like a little entryway that leads into a much larger room. That's very darkly lit. Everything in here has been very brightly lit, so it's kind of hard to actually see what's going on in there. Y'all step over the threshold.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I need both of you to make me. Let me double check. Ooh, I need both of you to make me Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Okay.
Gov's just like me.
Love me some God. Ugh.
Literally eats rocks, has the constitution of a giant. Like
15.
Oh hell yeah, that is a 19.
Okay. So
Hmm.
Inga, as you step over the threshold, something occurs to you. You're like, "Oh, weird. I just felt something weird, but it's okay." And you move past. And Gob, you get a very similar feeling, but you start to feel very heavy as you're taking your steps forward. And it's fine for a second or two, but then you realize like you can't move your legs. They have started to feel so heavy. And you realize you can't feel your feet now. And as you're kind of reaching forward, you're slowing down and you see your skin is starting to change from, the brown and like beige of human flesh tones to the gray of stone as you start to creak. And you feel your body changing to stone, petrifying as you move. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for me.
Turn towards Veronica.
Resistance?
Uh-oh.
Resistance?
I don't think you even see this in this
14.
moment. We're not in combat. This is like 6 seconds, right? Like, so one roll. Let's see how he does.
Okay.
I got a 14 plus 6 to my modifier, dirty 20.
Okay. So you are fighting this
No.
just enough to keep moving. And do you say anything in this moment, God? Because
Oh, my hands are like, starting to be frozen.
Yeah.
Moving jerky.
Yeah, so Inga, you walk past the door, no problem, and then Gob starts to make this noise. And also in that time, like, the knights behind you are so used to just like trudging behind you at this moment. You start to hear a "Ah!" like from the one knight who crossed like over the line before the others. And you, now that Gob has called it to your attention, Inga, you can turn back around and see behind you both Gob and this other knight seem to be like almost crumpling in front of you, and you can see the skin of Gob's hands changing into stone. So all of you now, very quickly, because in 6 seconds, Gob is going to have to make this save again. So something you can do in one round. What's happening? One round of combat.
Xena, come over here. I think we need some sort of perhaps remove curse.
Save your spells, don't worry. I'm going to have his next roll be a 19 with my portents.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks, Grandma.
So you say that, and so Gob, your second save you're making here. So you would have rolled that, but something in you hear Minnie behind you. Something. What is it? What is it the portent? What is it within you that Minnie saw with her prescient powers that fights off this spell?
I don't know if it's like evoking some sort of memory from home of like, his own grandmother's cooking or something to kind of anchor him to the, positive to stay in the moment in his body. I don't know. Hang on, because food's coming.
There's foods.
Yeah,
That-
the smell of
good
that.
food that gives you that constitution.
You know
Like,
that.
man.
12 more
Grandma's
hours.
cooking.
Chicken,
Like,
chicken and dumpling casserole that you have every
Right.
year. Like, oh man, like
all the Thanksgiving
if you could
foods.
never taste gravy again because you were stoned, that would just suck.
No.
Suck.
That would suck. And it's enough to get you through this moment here as you push past and you're like, no, and you like crackle your fingers and stone dust comes off of them and you're like fighting it. One more save you have to succeed on. So 6 more seconds. Anybody?
I cast guidance.
You reach back and touch him, like, you know, because you're the only one who's made it to the room so far. And also, you can audibly hear you can't see because the person is wearing full armor, but you can hear that cultist there in the black armor turning to stone. It's like the popping and grinding of stone against metal inside their armor as they are becoming a stone statue.
I
And
will
then
also
there were
bless
8.
you.
High five. Double.
I think the
Go!
guys should do it. You can save your bit. I just got the power of food coursing through my
Power
veins.
of food.
And I got a 15 on the die plus 6, and then plus
Okay.
another 1 from the guidance.
All right. So with a
think,
final like roar,
No.
you overcome the stone and it like bursts off your skin, almost like mud that has started to dry but didn't quite get there. It's like, no, and it goes flying off in pieces as you shake off this enchantment. And now that you are standing here in this barrier, you can feel, Gob, that whatever that magic was is spent as you hear the final like gurgle of the person next to you in that stone armor, now just frozen in a gesture of horror.
Jump.
I knew you'd be fine, Gob. You're a strong, hardy boy. You eat all your meals.
Are
Yeah.
you a good cook, Mindy?
Am I a good cook?
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
But
Why do you
I'm a
think
healthy
she
cook.
always gives us trail mix, Gob? Come on.
So Avarice says, well, are we done? Okay. You, and looks at Xena, step over the line, see if it's still working.
Chill for a second. I can help my friends and you too if you put your fucking pants back on. I'm gonna
What?
I'm gonna cast Circle of Power so that we all have resistance against magical saving throws or spells that require magic saving throws.
How long does that last?
10 minutes.
Everybody ride. Let's go.
It is one of my fucking 5th level spells, and I only got 2
oh
of those
shit.
spell slots, but I think
Heard it. Yeah.
we don't need to go through that again.
Okay. All right. So as you, what does this look like? 5th level spell. Big shit. What's going on?
Circle of Power. I'd say like it starts like a really soft pink orb starts to come out of her tree chest plate, and then it like suddenly expands all really fast and encircles all of us in like a 30-foot radius.
Damn. All right. So this like glowing pink circle of light encases everyone, and you all feel more capable, more powerful, but you're on a time clock. And honestly, you need every second you can spare. So very quickly, you, Avarice, everyone rushes over the line, realizing that like while they have this benefit, they're not going to back down from it. So what we see going on here in this room, let me get the description.
Hashtag blush
Right.
and bashful. Let's
Okay.
go.
For Circle
So-
of Power, do you want it?
No, we're good. No, I was looking at for the room. So you enter into a room that's like a very long rectangle. There are no features, furniture, anything in this room except for lining the far wall of this hall are 8 doors, each marked with a different arcane symbol. On the wall above them is etched an inscription in Draconic, which Minnie, you can now read with your new level 10 feature, so you don't have to ask for anybody's fucking help. And it says, "Speak thy master's name and enter." And all of you now, having gone through each of, or at least 4 towers, are intimately familiar with 4 of the symbols here. Many you would know them all. Each of the symbols of magic. And the inscription, "Speak thy master's name and enter." And these doorways, what you see through them, they're not blocked by doors. They are blocked by nothing. It's like a void beyond them. And your magical darkness, Veronica, cannot see through it. This is not magical darkness. This is nothing. This is a hungry, empty, horrible void of nothing in front of you. And you are sure if you stepped through it. Bad news, bears. That's... Yep.
I got a question. Did that ghost from the necromancy tower, did he style himself as like a master? Or was that
He
was the Archmage.
I don't know. It's up to all of you. This is a Riddy.
Oh,
This is a Riddy and a Puzzy. So
Oh.
let's see if
don't
humans
know.
can figure it out. If you would like, Gob can try and make a check to remember.
God, don't remember the
Okay.
as that was me just thinking, but
I know, yeah, I think it's the name of the Archmage ratio. So like the necromancy one, the guy who was trying to find his body, that was Certivix.
I pull out the
Sartoric?
femur. and
Katie,
be
you're
like,
muted if you
"Remember."
were just trying to say something.
Oh, his name is like Necromancer Catavix. Is his name?
Would that be the name of our master, quote unquote? Wouldn't it be Skull Head Lich Man?
We're really good at names in this.
I realize
You
that.
really are.
No.
I know that guy's name. It's I
Ever-
realize this.
EverQuest, we need you. We need your secrets.
And suddenly behind you, it's Everlast, but I am here for you as he materializes. Yes, my friend. How can I help?
Is Catapit? No. What's his name? What's the ghost name? Is Catavix the master of necromancy?
He gives you like a sad look and says, I cannot reveal the secrets of this city to you.
That's not a secret. We're just asking for the
Clarification.
for
Perhaps,
the employment roster.
but I will say, in the interest of riddles and puzzles, anything, any hints I can give you, any confirmations or denials would be intrinsically betraying my purpose.
Sweet Jesus.
Multiple
Any
answers.
Successes or denials would be intrinsically harming my role here.
Okay.
He nods
Oh my
at you.
God.
Go.
Got it.
With a patient grandpa smile.
Cool. So
your-
just yell someone's name into the void and see if it works.
Oh, we can go to the necromancy one
Mhm.
and just say Catavix.
We should all go to same one, I think.
Well,
Cool.
let's see if anything happens when we say it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So Minnie, you move to stand in front of, one of these 8 portals, the one that has the symbol of necromancy up above, and you say Catavax as you stand in front of it, and the spiraling void of black persists in front of it.
Well,
You're not
Really?
sure. Again, though, several things in this place have been like, you say it or you do it, and it doesn't give an immediate reaction. You've had to trust, like the bridge, like the right. It seems to be one of those things where you've had to trust your instincts. If there's anything this tower has been trying to hammer home, it seems to be to trust in your own power.
Ever so gently hammering.
So gently.
Nail.
Is
Trust the process.
What did it say again? Say that your master. What was it?
Speak thy master's name and enter.
Is this? I mean, this
Period.
is. I don't know if this is right or not, but
There's no
this whole
comma.
thing
If that makes
is-
any difference to you.
Punctuation matters a lot. when it
Punctuation
comes to
here.
things, like,
Here you go. Literal in the Zoom.
I can't
Quote.
decide if because this is kind of like a trial to see if we have what it takes. If there's supposed to be 8 mages, assuming from 8 different towers, if we're supposed to each be the master.
Get a drink while you talk about this.
Oh,
I don't
that
know.
was the most sultry.
I think
I'm
it's
definitely. That makes sense.
Mm.
either that or it's like what the master of mages, what do they want, like power? I don't know.
Oh yeah, like what your
it's
motivation is, like what.
knowledge or something.
What kind of like what your driving motivation is, that because that's your master, your guiding
What
principle.
controls them?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like that. That's
something
kind
like
of what
that.
I was thinking.
Yeah. That or
So is it
So
power? Unlimited power?
ten level
Unlimited.
spells.
Right.
He does
God.
if Minnie does divination, then it would be clarity.
Mm.
I don't know if they each have to fit. Oh my god, I hate this. I hate not being able to tell, even if we're wrong, you won't be able to tell until we're all dead.
Right.
And,
And
It's
that's
the-
the finale, guys. Everybody died. Yeah.
What are all the schools? What are the other ones?
oh boy,
hold
abjuration,
on,
conjuration.
hold on, I have 'em all.
No, not
Conjuration,
Yeah.
abjuration.
Abjuration, conjuration, divination, enhancement, evocation, illusion, necromancy, transmutation. I have my notes up because I'm that person. Not even a wizard knows all the schools of magic.
Excuse me.
Avarice will say, listen, all right, we've got a name and we've got a door. Minnie, why don't you step back here? Just step back here, away from the door. And she gives you a scoochy hand for you to move close to her.
Gucci hand, just one.
And she goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, between Veronica, Xena, Inga, and Gob, and lands on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's she gonna force to say this name and just walk the fuck through because she's tired of bullshit? 1, 2, 3. Inga, you, she points. Say Catavax, walk through the darkness. We don't have all day.
Yeah, she'll do it.
We don't even know what time it is, but calm down.
I tug the rope that's still attached to me. It's, I got you.
Oh god.
Yeah, no worries.
Veronica will hold on to the rope just in case.
Okay. So Inga, you say Catavax, and you stare down this unnatural darkness. And as you step into it, you feel it's like oil moving across your skin as the fiendish, the unnatural, the energies of evil magic from some place that has nothing to do with nature or anything you've been raised to believe or trust in passes over your skin. And you hear whispering, chattering teeth in the dark, and things that want to kill you certainly press against your skin, but they never break the flesh as you move through that eternity of darkness before emerging on the other side, complete and whole, and standing in a new room. So you all, on the other side, see Inga step into the darkness and disappear.
How's the rope?
The rope would be severed.
No.
Oh
Well,
god.
So it just falls to the ground and limp on the floor and kind of pulls back towards you in the way rope that was taut and then is no longer is gone. And Inga, I guess you would see that on the other side, this harness of rope you had, it looks as if something has chewed it, like frayed at the edges with small razor sharp teeth. passing through. You didn't feel anything. You felt the presence of other things, and you felt that what you said protected you. But if you hadn't said that, who knows?
Well, she's standing there looking around, and she'll wait patiently for her friends.
Xena, can you do mind stuff, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking, but I have to be able
mind
to see them.
You cannot see Ingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that send spell was only a one off, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Like we have any issue going through portals we don't understand.
Yeah,
and Veronica
y'all
will
have
just
done
like
it.
dive into
Catavax.
the portal. Catavax! Ah!
And Veronica, you have an identical experience to Inga. And as you come out on the other side, though for you, Veronica, the feeling is very familiar because you, as someone who has touched the Eldritch darkness of the universe, you who have contact with one of these beings, that alien sense of just pure malicious energy passes through you, and you're like, yep, that was it. That's exactly what that was. Eldritch power of something you do not recommend playing with lightly, and you know what it would have done to you if you weren't protected moving through, because you have nightmares about it frequently.
Stop. Oh my god, stop.
Oh,
Stop. She's like batting away the hands and the tentacles. No.
And
Well,
on the other side,
yeah.
I think the rest of you standing there, you see Avarice get a little, I guess a little concerned, probably for the first time ever. The fact that she can't, like, there's no way to tell if this worked or not. Like, this is going to be have to be something that she just has to trust, which you can see just fights against every instinct in her, and she just starts screaming for people to go through one by one.
Wait your
Like-
turn.
No, she'll
Ah,
like command her knights to go through, and like a bunch of them go through, and she doesn't. Nothing happens, and she'll just start, demanding the rest of you go through. Everyone
I was gonna
except
say,
her.
No one said, no one
first.
said the word.
Right?
They all died.
No, they said the word. They say the word. Catavax, And there's a note of like fear, I think, because there are only now 8 remaining.
Mm-hmm.
There's a note of fear you're hearing from different voices, masculine, femme, gender neutral, like as you're moving through this maze. So these people do appear to have some feelings.
I think.
Anytime someone
red
comes through the
shirts.
other side, like Veronica will like stand at the like very edge of it, and the moment that they come through, when she realizes who it is, she'll just be like, "Bah!"
And they, cry. You smell pee a couple times.
Right.
That's fine. They're in suits armor. It's fine.
It's fine.
So do the rest of you continue to move through with Avarice yelling at you to do so?
Yes,
I
I'd
think
rather
as soon
die
as
than be
Veronica,
stuck with her. So
that would have followed suit.
Oh, yes. And you,
Cowabunga, cataracts.
you all do
Cataracts.
eventually. And you see at last Avarice moves through, and she's already albino, so pale, perfectly white, but if there was anything in her that could be like whiter and more shaken, this is the most you've seen her as she passes through this darkness and takes a deep breath, and you all are standing safely on this side. Well,
She's just
safely.
translucent now. Like...
Yeah, she's just faded into nothing. But what you see, a vortex of glowing stars hangs in the air inside this chamber, slowly rotating on its axis. As the constellations move, they cast radiant starlight across the walls. 8 high-backed chairs, each bearing a different arcane symbol, face this starry miasma. And once again, you can clearly tell that the chairs, all 8 of them, they're marked each one with one of the schools of magic. And I will say also, you notice that on the far side of the room, there is a set of locked double doors. And that is what you see.
Is this it? Is that it?
pointing at the ceiling. It basically looks like if you're standing in an observatory, this map, of the known universe is
it's not
drifting.
like the
But it
Mythalar.
may not have.
Nope.
I have no idea what the Mythalar looks like, so door time. Let's go. And
Yeah.
Veronica will go over to the door, and you said it like she'll try it. It's locked, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's locked, and I will say right now you can investigate it, you can look at it. It is not like a normal mechanical lock that you could pick. It seems to have some kind of arcane lock, one might say, on the door.
Got a crowbar.
I got a hammer.
No.
I like how Veronica and Gob are like smash it, and everyone else is like no.
Short
God,
answer,
no,
but
that's
I
not,
tell you right
like-
now, you can chip, you can hammer, nothing
Oh, yeah,
nothing will open those doors.
Fine.
Let's
Any
see.
any of the wizards help? Yeah.
As someone with a star map
Interesting.
and great interest in the constellations,
Interesting.
Inga would
It is-
like to
It's
examine
there.
these
Interesting.
constellations.
All right. Yes. Why don't you go ahead and okay. If Inga were about to look at something like an eldritch horror, something like trying to rationalize like Cthulhu, right? It's standing right in front of you, and the truth is so horrible and awful that it would break your mind. What would Inga use to try and work her way out of that? Let's start with a skill check and see if that leads to a saving throw.
Can Veronica help with this?
No, I think
aspect?
this is a very personal experience, particularly for Inga, someone who has like trusted the stars and their power, and it means so much to see them and to see something like this. What is it, Inga?
I think she would ultimately fall back on her survival instincts, because to her, the stars are these guiding lights, these lights that have kept her and her people alive for so many generations. And that knowing that feeling that they would never truly betray her, but she just needs to learn to understand it. And then that is the guiding light.
All right. So go ahead and make me that survival check as you look up at this tapestry, which at a glance seems like a normal night sky.
That is an 18.
Okay. So as you were looking at it, I mean, right away, you're looking at like, oh wow, all the stars I recognize, these galaxies I recognize, oh these other stars I don't, and even beyond that, how strange to see this all laid out before me in a way I've never seen before. How could they know? I think is something that occurs to you too as you're looking at it. And the longer and longer you study it, it occurs to you that something is wrong with these stars. As you look up, they are different than what you've known, and not different enough in a way to be like, this is false or this is an illusion. You see that planted somewhere in there, there is this dark star that clearly is not natural of any kind. It is a creation of magic, something that has been forged, this monstrosity hung in the heavens, and you can see that it is twisting and manipulating all the natural magic of every other star, transforming the universe, the galaxies all around it. This dark human-made creation, this ebon star that is stirring the universe into a chaotic, twisted corkscrew of purpose. And the worst part of it is, this isn't something that happened long ago and is done. This is something the Netherese must have done, and it has changed your world today. You see there, written in the stars, the tragedies, the horrors, the just all of humanoids, the tapestry of everything that has gone wrong, instigated by this false, horrible thing that has been hung in the heavens, twisting around it like a corrupted web. And in a single horrible moment, you realize that the stars you have come to know and love and trust have been poisoned by this thing that still hangs in the sky. And you've never seen it before on any map. You can't see it when you look at the heavens, but like, it is there, and everything you've come to trust has been changed by this thing.
I think there's this moment where she just clenches her eyes and balls her fists so tight, and just shimmering down her cheeks, caught in this starlight, are just a few just very quiet tears. And she thinks back to Hathawin, this dryad who was trapped and enslaved and used for magic, and she thinks about these Magin and all of these things that these people have done because it was convenient for them. And she is just so full of white hot anger, just like the core of a star. And she goes and she turns around, and she these chairs around the table, she'll go and she'll sit like at the on the chair that's like labeled conjuration. It's just
All right. Kind of back up into the seat. Clearly Inga is upset, but you all see her do this. Nothing else really seems to happen in the room. What else? What are you doing in reaction?
Are you okay?
Clearly not, Gob.
Oh, sorry.
she laughs.
Sweet Jesus.
She just laughs because there's just like,
What can you do?
of all the things that we've seen in this place and all of the things that have touched our minds. And she just says, I'm not sure that I will ever be okay again. Okay again. For what I have seen within this place. It has forever changed me and my path. But that is for a future that I pray that I will live to see. And we need to figure out how to get out of this room.
Yeah. Let's just push it all down till, later.
Maybe not, Gob.
Compartmentalizing, I hear
That's the
it's really good.
It's true. I do it all the time.
Veronica
Sure, I
will
don't
run
have
up
any
and give a.
close relationships, but what can you do?
Oh no. Veronica will run up and give like a very quick hug to Inga and be like, "We'll talk about this afterwards, sweetie. I got you. Don't worry."
While this is happening, Avarice says, "Hey, whatever's happening here, there are also 2 other doors just hidden. Just pointing those out." And she kind of points towards the northwest and the northeast corners of the room. And you can see that there are just doors that have been like casually hidden into the stonework here. And you're not sure if she dispelled it or what, but you're pretty sure those doors weren't here when you walked into the room.
Veronica will yell at Gob, "Go to that door," and she'll go to the opposite. Fling it open. Let's go. We don't have time.
We
All
do
right,
not
all
have
right.
time. That is true.
Right.
We're absolutely running out of time. And
Yep.
as you look, so Gob, let's say, yes, Gob, the one you throw open here, you see the walls of this roughly triangular room are filled with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. Hundreds of books and scrolls were thrown free of their resting places when the city crashed and now cover the floor. Time and bitter cold have not been kind to them. So you see a fucked up little mini library in
It's
front
just a
of
stupid
you.
library.
Books are stupid, and you close that door. And then Veronica, what you see, you in this room, there is nothing except for No furniture, nothing, but something really amazing floating in the center of this room. A 10-foot-tall spindle of gray stone hovers upright and rotates slowly inside the circular chamber. All around it, the surfaces of the room's walls are cracked, as though some terrible energy once coursed through them. And there's nothing here except for this beautiful crystalline thing, sharp at both ends. Yeah, 10 feet tall, so huge, almost like a shard of glass, just spinning. And you can feel just the power, the potential radiating off of this thing. I think you just can't help but feel it like crawl over your skin, like the power of this thing. If you touched it, like, what
Why
could
not?
you do? Is, I think, a giddiness that involuntarily comes over you as you're looking at it slowly rotate here.
It's cute. Oh, this is probably that time thing. I don't think we have time for it
I
though.
want it in
So
my
like,
house.
Make time.
I'm coming back for you.
Mhm.
She'll like slowly like close the door, like, you're mine. Like, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
And it occurs to you what that weird brain jar lady said, to go back and fix any of your mistakes. Any of them. Any of them.
Bet you can't remember your biggest one.
I don't have any mistakes.
Hmm.
All the choices that I've made throughout the course of my life have made me.
But if you could use this for other people, I mean, wars, plagues, friends dying, your friends' friends dying, you could do this. You could use that to fix all of that.
It sounds so sweet, but I know how much that would just be the worst.
Okay. So
We
you
have
all
other
see
things.
Veronica stops and looks for a while and then slams the door.
No.
Closed.
Absolutely not.
Breathing against this door.
There wasn't any other like exits in the dumb old book room. Was there?
No exits in either of those rooms. There's just the locked set of double doors. And then what's weird is also the 8 chairs are facing away from those double doors. So honestly, if you were getting a vibe, that set of double doors doesn't seem like this is the door to the boss room, like, feeling. Because you can see a keyhole, right? But it's just, it clearly has some kind of, like, arcane enchantment where it's like, you can't bust it, but you need the right key, asshole.
A golden key that I gave away, don't you?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you...
I'm not gonna do
Typical.
it.
So your instincts, honestly, something to do with the chairs is what you need to do to get up to this.
That's why Inga's butt is in the conjuration chair.
Yeah,
Sitting in
your
that
horse butt
divination
is sitting there
chair.
like,
Those bunions
Yeah.
getting a rest.
Alright.
She's been chilling
Gob.
in there.
Gob will hop in the illusion chair. He'll ask me which one's illusion. 'Cause,
Right over there.
my pops is quite the illusionist.
Sweet
I think
lord.
I got some of his skills. Does the thumb trick.
Minnie's eyes are just kind of like shutting closed as he's talking.
Mhm.
She's just nodding.
there's like, all of a sudden, like a whoop happens in the room, and Everlast, your good friend, appears and says, so you have found the Archmage throne room, where mages of specific schools might sit,
Mhm.
perhaps.
What does it look like I'm doing, Everlast?
Where? Oh, I'm sorry.
She
Did
grew
you
up
sit
and-
somewhere?
Yeah,
Oh.
I said she's been sitting in this divination chair.
sorry, I
resting
missed
them
that.
bunions.
The minute you buns, sorry, fuck. Maybe now you're just getting settled. The minute you sit in the divination chair, the sigil flares up with a golden light, and you all see a gold doorway appears in the center of the room. It's like the outline of a doorway, a portal. You can't see through it. Once again, it's one of those things you have to step on through.
right through the fucking door.
Every time.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
Veronica's just like, here we go again.
Professional door opener.
God
Let's
damn
go.
it. Let's go. So, Minnie, your buns open it up, and like clockwork, all of these knights and avars are like, yeah, no, we're
Go,
just getting
everybody
through here now.
inside.
Go.
Go.
And you all pass through this chamber rapidly, and you see this large chamber has lain undisturbed for centuries. On the upper level, all around you, are tables covered with wizardly paraphernalia. A soft groaning emanates from a shadowy, door-sized rectangle along the curved northern wall. Staircases to the east and west descend to a lower part of the room where a sunken library is situated in a 20-foot wide, 10-foot deep circular pit. A ladder running along a circular track inside the hole allows easy access to the many books and scrolls on its shelves. The worst part of all of this is, as you step into the room, Xena, you have seen this room before. This is the room you saw. This is exactly the room you saw when you asked that divination orb where your sister was. This is what you saw. And as you look towards that weird rectangle thing, and the best way I can describe this is like if we are in 3D real life, you are seeing a 2D square that shifts and vaguely changes shape. It's always got edges like a square. It's this geometric flat plane in front of you that is shifting back and forth. And as you stare at it, you see this golden, almost glass-like hue move across its surface. And you can swear that you see people in there. And something looks so familiar to you. It's so familiar.
I'm gonna walk right up to it and stare into it and see if I recognize anything.
So I will say you can get within like 15 feet of this thing. And at that point, as you're seeing it, you're looking at it. And yes, it looks like glass, like in a mirror without a frame, right? Is vaguely what it looks like, but its shapes and edges are shifting strangely. And you're sure you can see something beyond it. If you could get closer, you can see something inside of it. There's something there. It's not a reflection. There's something in there, but you need to be closer to see it. Do you move closer?
Yes.
Okay. So you move to this thing as close as you can to see inside of it. And I think this is all happening as you run into the room. Immediately, Xena, like, lightning is like off and like running towards this thing. You get within 5 feet of this thing, and as you're staring through it, you realize you are looking into a room that has stone walls, no windows, nothing. But there are people in this room, huddled, dirty, upset people, like miserable, crouching like they would be in a prison. And as you are seeing this, and it all becomes so very clear to you, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Hell yeah. Okay. 14?
Okay. So as you are looking in and you see it, you cannot stop seeing it. You cannot stop seeing it, and you feel yourself pulled into this other place. And not only now are you looking at it from the other side of glass, but you are here in this small 10 by 10 stone prison of a room, standing here with these huddled people. And it takes you just a moment to realize you look back. You don't see the shard. You don't see the room behind you. You are trapped here with these people. So the rest of you see Xena run up to this thing, stare into it, and then disappear.
Whoa!
Every time. Stop touching things.
What
Will
the
nobody do
fuck?
that shit again?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Xena.
Okay. And Mitty just puts her hands on her hips and she just takes a second and rubs her temples and is like, okay, look around, and is looking for like any sort of indication on like off and on. Where are we? What is this? How does this work?
Yeah. So what you're standing in is clearly a study of some kind. You can see, the large desk and bookshelves and all kinds of nonsense going on here. And you can see that this room is slightly smaller than the rest, and you do know that the tower was tapering as it was getting higher and higher, at least from the outside. So you would assume that this might be the last floor before whatever, like, the ceiling, of this place is. Which I think reinvigorates you in, like, there's just one more level to go here. You don't see any obvious way up to the top. But then again, nothing has been obvious in this place. This is what a casual search will get you.
I'm looking for how we would possibly get our friend to come back. Like, what triggered that?
Gotcha.
What can I find out?
Why don't you give me a Arcana check, then, in that case?
Can we see her in there, too?
Oh, you want to try and see in there?
Just, from like 10 feet away.
So you
Veronica's-
would have, as you get 10 feet within it, you would get the exact same sensation. Like, oh, wow, there's something in there. If I just got closer, I could see it. And you feel that curiosity is just, like, eating at you. Do you get closer?
God, probably would.
No, Minnie.
Veronica
his
would-
girlfriend was
just
like,
said,
"Don't
don't
Veronica-
do that. And it's
Right,
gonna
Veronica
grab him
would literally
back.
yell, be like, "No, Gob, don't get closer to it. Come here."
Oh.
So you hear that. I mean, you can find it. You're not compelled by any way, but if you get closer, you can see it. If you don't get closer, you cannot see what's happening.
Get back here. One of us already disappeared. Do not.
I got an 18 on my Arcana check.
All right. So, honestly, you don't really know what that is. You've never seen magic like. You've seen portals, you've seen gateways. I mean, somebody's stepping by or through something, like maybe I don't know, but since being here, you have seen spells that live and that have their own sentience, and there are plenty of spells that might create like an extra dimensional space. Maybe there is something beyond that. If one of these spells was giving sentience and could eat people, it's like if your bag of holding was given form.
How do we
Might look something like that.
shake it out?
It occurs to you, if this city was falling, everything was crashing to the ground, what would be a great way for a mage to make sure they didn't die? Creating
Going into
something
a
like
mirror,
this.
like
Yeah.
A little extra dimensional space, their own tiny little plane where everything was cool for a sec. That'd be a pretty good way to escape disaster.
I've already seen that with the lighthouse. So
Mm-hmm. Pocket planes don't seem to be something the Netheries shied away from.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Minnie is just going to be investigating around the room, to not in that corner, to try to see if she can find any notes or anything at all that she can use to kind of see what sorts of spells they were working with, see if she can figure out how to essentially dump out the bag of holding.
Yeah. And you begin to look, and I mean, the libraries, the books, the everything in the space. Honestly, to garner information like that, to do research, is going to take you so much time, and you realize you do not have that kind of time as you were looking through. You do find some interesting things. Like, I think the desk is probably the first place you go. Like, is there anything relevant? Like, what were they working on? And everything is written in Loras, but your newfound knowledge, this divination, allows you to see through it, to interpret it. It all moves across, the ink, like letters in your mind. And you're looking at it, and honestly, what you see on the table, the freshest parchments, they are the ramblings of a being who has lost their mind. it doesn't make any sense. And you know that it's not like high intelligence stuff or something you don't. Whoever is writing this is so far beyond their mental capabilities that they had when they might have designed this spell. There is nothing here for you. But what you do find is something very interesting. It looks like a remote control. Like, we would recognize it, but I think in Minnie's mind, it would be like, it looked like a button. Just like a big, like a clicky red thing. Oh, yeah. And on just like a box, like a shiny silver box. And you immediately, you press this.
That.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
Press your button.
You press this, and like this glowing golden spiral staircase appears in the center of the room, and like you hear of a trapdoor. And you would all see this, like as Minnie presses this button.
Probably. Oh man. I'd shout at the mirror, but we'll come back for you.
You just take them. Wait, is the mirror attached to like the wall, or is it?
Oh,
like
no,
a
no.
stand?
It's not a mirror. It is like a shard of reality that is reflective like a mirror, that is moving, suspended in space. Oh, it's not a mirror. It is clearly something way more fucked up than a mirror.
Just gonna pick it up
Yeah,
and try to like
don't-
shake it.
Oh,
Don't
I'm
try and
sorry.
pick it up.
Are you touching
Don't try and
it?
pick it up.
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. Just like, oh,
Because Xena just being within 5 feet of it seemed to make her disappear from what you all
Yeah.
observed.
and I just yelled at God for
Yeah.
being within 10 feet of it. So,
Ah,
Maybe, okay, before, I mean, I know that we have to move on and do this thing, but can you try using your mage hand to shift it?
Sure.
Why
30
not?
feet away, just like
Try it, yeah.
tries to like touch all the sides of it. Like, does it move? Can I go through it? Yeah.
Yeah, you do, and immediately as your mage hand comes within 5 feet of it, you see it like flicker and get pulled into this shard of reality as it eats your magical energy, and you feel it leave your control. It's like your spell was pulled not onto the material plane anymore.
Yeah, that's all bad. So I don't really know.
Inga thinks back to the like black hole like star at the center of that star system, about how it just sucks everything in. Just stares off into the distance.
Just sucks.
Inga, so emo.
Inga, so emo.
The
Stars
saddest
aren't
centaur
what they
ever.
used to
I
be.
got feelings.
Their
Yeah,
first
I mean-
album was a lot better.
Unless you guys have any other ideas.
Yeah, Avarice is
Throw a
gonna
rope
say,
in there, but I
"We
don't know."
don't
Yeah.
have time. Up the goddamn staircase!" She yells and points.
Yeah.
You! And she says 5 of her guys, "Stay here. Watch that." And they are gonna stand and like, "Don't touch it though, and don't look at it." She says, and so like
then
five.
there were 4.
5 of them kind of hang out like, and then 4 of them move ready to follow you up the staircase.
Let's go up the stairs.
Head up the stairs.
Right, let's go.
All right.
We'll be back. Don't worry.
Jump.
Don't worry, Nassim. We'll get to you in but a moment. What's happening there? So, as you all step up this winding staircase, you step onto the stone floor of this tower. And it is a flat stone plane that is about 60 feet in diameter, so pretty wide. And there is no other furniture. There's some like crenulations around the outside, so like if you were standing at the top of the tower, some border walls that basically are all that separate you and a 300-foot drop down into the city of Ythrin. And the only other thing there is in the very center of this circle is this large floating glass orb. And it looks like, honestly, like a marble, really. It's just clear. It doesn't have much going on moving in it, like a little bit of blue smoke, but other than that, it's just there. But it is about like 10 feet in diameter, so pretty significant, just kind of floating just above this little pillar in the center here. And as you look up, you can see, the cavern that encompasses all of Ythrin, and you breathe in the fresh air. And you hear a chattering sound coming from the far side of this thing, this floating glass orb. And a bounce, bounce, bounce as you see this little skull with these 2 gem eyes come around the corner, and it bounces along the ground and looks at you all and like opens its mouth in maybe a smile, but again, it's hard to tell without flesh or muscles. It floats up in the air and starts to bob like it's trying to tell you something.
I don't speak skull. Does anyone else?
What is it, boy?
What?
Oh,
Is Zena stuck in the mirror?
And it looks at you and it like opens its mouth really wide and then shuts it in like a biting and looks at you, Gob, expectantly. Yeah. And
Eat the marble.
Yeah, it sees
Don't eat the marble gob.
Yeah, it sees you're looking at it and not understanding, and it shakes its head no. Dramatically, like it's disappointed. And then you begin to hear the rumbling coming from up above. It's this like domed, icy cavern starts to crack. And you see sprays of frost start to rain down as the glacier that has stood and encased this place for thousands of years begins to crack. And you start to hear howling from the streets far down below. And you're standing at the top of this spire, the highest point in the city. You can run over to the edge, and it doesn't take you long at all to realize that running through the streets, you see an amalgamation of winter's creatures, from the white-furred blue eyes of, like, winter wolves to these hideous large beings that look constructed like giants made out of snow, to those cold light walkers you encountered so long ago, which are the burnt-out undead of people who have died, perished, been tortured in the cold, starting to stagger through the streets of the city, their numbers in hundreds, moving through each and every street, making their way towards the central spire, and everything rocketing down from above, and the skull once again makes like biting gestures and kind of rolls from side to side, trying to get your attention.
I looked at everyone. What the fuck is this thing trying to say?
What is it, boy?
Clearly danger, but you know.
Stop, drop, and roll. We're in a bad spot.
Inga will put a quill in its mouth to see if it can spell it with its teeth.
Yeah, you kind of like reach out, and as you're like getting the quill and getting a bottle of ink and trying to get parchment, there is a thunderous crash from above as a hole is blown through the top of this thing, and rocketing down, hovering just above this floating ball in the center, you see Inga, at first it looks like a star, honestly. It looks like it's so bright and shining and geometric as this crystalline thing appears and hovers before your eyes it blooms into this snowflake, this many-armed snowflake here just hovering in midair. You all feel the chill of winter pass through you all. And you hear a very familiar voice, now louder than you've ever heard it before, that echoes across the city. And it says, "Well, as promised, we are meeting once again. And this time, I shall not be defeated. Even if you think you will harm me now, my minions will slaughter each and every one of you. You shall die, cold and alone. Much like this one. This is your tower, is it not? And in response to the voice, you see the little skull that's like landed on the ground kind of turns its head just 180 on the ground and looks upwards. Yes. Yes. I will take all that you are. And you hear a cracking sound as the green gems in this thing's eyes explode with the blue white of winter. And this snow crystal thing pours all of its energy into this skull, which tremors on the ground and explodes outward in this blue light and begins to hover and shatter above this floating sphere, the Mythalar. And we're going to do some initiative. We're going to use those rolls from last time. I've taken some average rolls. So shit, guys.
Even after, like, with that whole, like, aspect, Veronica's weapon will appear in her hand and she'll point it at her. It's like, you know what? I'm fine with it. So long as we all get to take you with us, I'll gladly die here.
Yes. So, you have seen Arl pour into this demi-lich, and that'll probably be fine. But before we get into that, I'm just going to say, yeah, demi-lich super goes first, and then it'll be Veronica. But before we do that, let's talk about what's happening with you. So Xena, you appear in this room, this small, cramped, horrible room, and you see that there are about 10 people here standing with you. They're all dirty. They're all look like they've been here for a very long time. But you can see that there are 2 people here that seem really, really familiar to you. You can tell they've got that matted white hair that is so similar to your own. And though they're crouched over, something about them is really familiar as you appear in this space.
Gets very nervous and scared to say anything and scare these people too. But with a very quiet question, she says, "Sarah, are you in here?"
And as you say that, one of these figures who you thought you recognized looks up and stares at you. And you can see, though her hair has been chopped off and her face is covered in mud and crying and blood that's crusted, she looks up and you see those same lavender eyes that you have as your little sister, your baby sister, looks up at you with confusion, I think is the best word, and then suspicion, as she says, "This is a trick. Who are you? What are you?"
No, Sarah, please, it's your sister, it's Xena. And she's tears are swelling in her eyes, and she kind of collapses to her knees and starts to almost on all fours when you're approaching a scared animal, be it's me, it's Xena. I don't know what just happened, but I found you. I can't believe I found you.
Yeah.
And then I try to get the attention of the other one to see if I can recognize that other face.
Yeah, and you're crawling towards this person, and she is looking at you in abject horror, not knowing what to do or what to think, or just the absolute the fear of a trapped animal, and she's backing away. And the other one, who you recognize, moves in front of her protectively, and you can hear the movement of metal as a long sword is pulled from beneath a cloak. And true enough, you see Leela, the second eldest in your family, stands over her protectively and holds that blade with all the trueness she ever had at your throat, and looks at you and says, "Xena? No, you're another illusion." And she holds it right under your jaw, moments from where she could puncture your jugular. And you know she'll do it. You've seen her do it before.
She's just still crying, saying how happy she is to see them. Please take whatever you want. I don't cut me open. It's your sister. It's me. I can't believe I found you. Is everyone else here? Is Tara here? I guess it's just Tara. I don't remember.
You have
Tina.
no idea.
Tara, are you here?
And she looks at you and clearly not knowing what to think or really how to react. This is somebody who's shell-shocked by whatever experience they just went through. And she says, Tara is dead.
What? What?
And with that, the Demi-Lich takes their first action. So, oh boy. All right, crew. Let's buzz the wall. So you all see at the top of the tower, those of you who aren't trapped in a strange interdimensional weave of horror, this floating skull now that shines with Arl's like winter light drifts up and over and is shaking with this raw amount of power coming through this thing here. And you see it opens its mouth and throws back its head as if it had a neck in this howl that is the worst ode to undeath you have ever heard. Nothing in your life has ever grated against the natural rhythms of your body so intensely. As I need all of you to make Constitution saving throws in this moment. And this includes the 4 knights who are still up above here, and Avarice, and Velian, everyone.
Oh, Velian.
I just remembered in this fucking moment that I have lucky.
Oh, there you go. This is a time.
Yeah.
If there was ever a time, kids, to pull out your biggest shit as immediately as possible, this would be it. Just a warning.
Oh, hell yes. That
Dirty
is
20.
An 18 for Inga.
Okay.
I've got a 22, and Vilian got a 12.
Oh dear. All right. So you all, as you hear the scream, and the scream, it stops your heart, literally, as you are hearing it. But most of you are able to conjure the willpower to take another beat. Not all of you are so lucky. You see all 4 of the knights and Velian freeze in place as they hear this. And it's that quiet, horrible, instant death where your heart just stops. And a moment later, it's done as they drop to the ground, hearing the shrill cry of true undeath. And just like that, no overture, they're gone. You hear all 3 of Velian's kobolds scream.
Baby.
We're poor sweet babies. Like we're more upset about the kobolds than Velian.
Well, and as she drops, that undead kobold falls and just falls apart into undead flesh and mass, and those 2 kobolds weep, falling to the ground, and it's over in an instant.
Vilian! We were
Veronica.
just becoming friends!
Just like that. Veronica, we come to you.
Oh man. Veronica sees this happen and looks at Oral and the floating skull, and she starts to let out a like violent scream herself. You see her hair turn bright red, and you feel an enormous amount of heat just like come off of her as she casts Conjure Elemental.
Ooh.
As you see this fire kind of surround her body and then move forward and form itself into somewhat of a humanoid shape. It will roll an 18 for its initiative.
Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, that's great. Okay. So fire being our turn.
Love
Love that.
And that'll be it for her.
Okay. All right. So you summon this creature here, and you hear a laugh come from this skull. This horrible combination of Iriolothus and Arl. And the feminine voice wins out, certainly, in the end, over this laughter and says, "You fools, I control everything within my domain. What is it that you think sets you apart from any other foolish mortal that has tried to defy me?" And as this happens, you see the skull flares with blue light. And all of you, again, are going to have to make a wisdom saving throw as this happens. And just this, like, pulse of light emerges from her.
23 for Inga.
Ooh, okay. Inga, you good.
Oh no. That's a 10.
Okay.
Oh no.
18.
All right. Okay. You are
Gob
good.
got a 14.
Okay. So Gob and Minnie, you are blinded until the end of your next turn. Yeah, your one eye is as just
The
like
other eye.
this blast of light moves through, and the radiance of all of winter and these crystals just clouds your vision and leaves you seeing spots. So look up the blinded condition. Basically, you can't target things, and you're gonna fail attack rolls with disadvantage that need to see until the end of your next turn. And that is a legendary action. So Velian is dead. So we are gonna go ahead and move to Minnie here.
Okay. Yeah, I think in the exact moment that she loses her vision, she has like that, logic brain, and she's like, okay, I need to throw this exactly where I remember that this creature being. So she's going to put a fifth level fireball right where she remembers in the sky.
Cool.
Don't need to see for that. Like,
It's a pretty good area.
explosions.
Yes. So what is my DC?
Dexterity DC 17.
Okay. I will say the bummer about demi-liches is that they have both avoidance and magic resistance. So we are going to go ahead and be rolling this with super advantage. So let's see.
I'm going to use my reaction to
Ooh.
minus a d6 from its roll.
Okay. Okay.
So, that's cocked. Hold on. Okay, that's going to be a -4.
All right. So that gets me down to a 14. You lucky
Oh,
Hey.
You lucky
Yes!
serve that well.
son of a
Yeah.
star. Wow. So the skull with, I guess, Arl piloting it is the best you can guess as you're seeing this blasting blaze of winter's light coming out of this undead thing zooming around. It moves so fast as Minnie just like randomly, holds out and like is trying to get it. You're like, there's no way. And then at that last moment manages to clip this thing. And you see this explosion of fire. So go ahead and deal your damage, boo.
35 fire damage.
Whew. All right.
Ooh!
Hold on to your butts, kids.
Hold on. So you send the skull like flying, and you can see scorch marks on it, but that whatever that light is inside it does not seem to be any affected by it. So it appears that as long as Arl is riding this skull, you can't hurt her. Which is a super bummer. All right. Ooh, boy. Okay. So with that now, we can pull a lair action. Oh, yes. Hang on. Oh, there's just so many. There's just so many.
So many things.
Okay. So all of you feel the tower starts to shake. The entirety of the tower as this demi-lich skull is chattering and just stirring the very foundations of everything to shake. So all of you up top, make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
19.
Ooh,
Okay.
got the danger sense.
That's your number.
Mhm.
Ooh, deck
Whoa.
save.
God. Oh, man. 15 for Gob.
You're going to fall prone on the ground as this happens.
That'll be a fail for Inga.
Okay, so both
I
Inga and
got an
Gob
11.
fall prone, and Minnie. And of course, you know, the dead corpses follow or just roll around, including Velian and the sad
Jiggle
kobold.
phases.
And Avarice also falls to the ground as this happens. Just knocks y'all out, except for Veronica. You're the only one left standing after the entire tower is shaken by this incredible amount of force. And then we move to your elemental, Veronica.
Who is literally, Veronica's
think
just
they
gonna
can
yell,
fall.
kill.
Yeah.
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 And it's just going to like flame forward towards the skull and pass through it and then attack it multiple
Can
times.
the fire elemental fly? No, it can just move 30 feet. Yeah.
50 feet actually.
Ooh.
But no, it can't fly.
Okay.
Is it the skull in the air?
Yeah, it's
Ah.
like it's hovering and bouncing around. It's very clearly it is not on the ground anymore. But your elemental, I think it's not like wildly flying high, so maybe does it have multi-attack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will say if you want to use one attack, it can try and make like an athletics move. And then the second one, I would let it have one attack to try and like blast this thing if it doesn't have a ranged. I don't think fire elementals do.
It does not. So with that,
Unfortunately.
with its athletics check, it gets a dirty 20, and with its actual attack, it gets a natural 20.
Oh shit, yeah. So I think it launches itself full like flame, you know, like a lash of flame. It curls and just moves through this thing. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then it can also move through it. So it'll take the aura damage that fire elementals.
Yeah,
do.
so 1d10. So the actual attack is 22
Okay.
damage.
Owie.
And then is it 1d2? Where? Yeah, right there. 3 damage from that, and then it's ignited. So every turn until it puts itself out, 1d10 fire damage.
So yes, your elemental passes through this thing, and you see, this skull that has been blistered by light is now like on fire as parts of it are burning, and you can see the gems in its eyes are flickering between that green and the blue of winter as it's trying to reassert its dominance. But whatever was Iriolothus is just being consumed by this god of winter, and you continue to light this fucker up as it is struggling through the air. So you've clearly done a good blow to this thing. But
Lame on.
But it is Arl's turn. From inside this skull. Yes. So you all, most of you lying on the ground at this point, begin
Fine.
to feel the drops of like snow. You know, snowflakes, that dusting coming down as you're like,
that's
oh,
nice.
looking up above.
That's nice.
And this roof, there's no roof here. It's open up to the sky where you can see the cracked ceiling where all of this ice is starting to rain down. And all of a sudden, that raining snow just becomes a furious blizzard as howling wind and ice starts to slap you in the face, and like jagged shards the size of daggers are starting to rain down. So this magical blizzard, which so conveniently takes up the entirety of this top level here, the area within is heavily obscured. So that's a lot of disadvantage on attacks to see targets. And then, it's just, it really sucks at this point. So it is a heavily obscured area, and this lasts until Aurel feels like ending it. So...
Would this be considered an attack?
What are you trying to do to combat
Hellish
it?
Rebuke.
No. Because this is a huge area effect.
Gotcha.
Okay, so she spends her turn making your lives miserable. And then Gob, it's gonna come to you with Inga on deck.
So the blindness from the big flash that still persists, or is
Yes,
that gone?
until the end of your turn.
I don't even care about some wind on my face. No big deal.
Basically, heavily obscured would mean you suffer from the blinded condition for all of you. So you're basically gonna be in the blinded condition.
Double blinded.
With one eye.
Yeah, with one eye.
Wow.
So, how close was like the Mythalar and all that?
So the Mythalar is right in the middle of this area here. So if you were on the
They're all
very
close to each
edge,
other.
it'd still be within like 30 feet of you, floating in the center here.
I guess I'd try to shout over to Minnie over the sound of the
Roaring
Minnie.
blizzard. Yeah.
Do we grab the power orb?
Oh, right. That. You know, I don't know. I think if we need 8 people.
Oh god. All right, yeah, Gob's just he's blind as hell. Can't oh man. All right, well he is going to head towards Minnie's voice and try to find the old lady shape. And
I think
The
between your
old
sense
lady
of
shape.
smell, your sense of smell is pretty good, Gob. So you can smell Minnie even through the snow. You can find her.
so,
It's a familiar scent. It's easy.
whatever you need to do, I'm here to help you, okay?
All right. I
And
don't know what, but
I don't know, the old little, dwarf scouts. And his instincts are,
Let
kicking
me
back
help you
in.
cross
He's helping the
street
old
to
lady.
Mythalar.
Yeah, so I'll hold my action to, I guess, give the help action to Minnie.
Yeah, so you're gonna give Minnie on advantage on the next,
Yeah,
basically, check.
we
she
punching
makes.
wind otherwise. Pretty sure.
Woo! So Gob is there clutching onto you for support, Minnie. You feel so supported in this moment. And then
Hold the
Inga,
groceries.
yeah, we come to you. You are prone. You are blinded. There's snow raining down upon thee.
Well, yeah, she'll stand up, use her 15 feet of movement to stand, or 20 feet of movement to stand up, and then she will, as a bonus action, she'll take on her familiar guardian of nature tree form, where she becomes this like spectral, super cool tree form. And then for her action, she is going to cast guidance on Veronica so that she can have a D4 at her next turn. And yeah, just kind of hunker down and hold the fort.
The tree. So your like branches are shifting in the wind of this radiant storm that is happening. And then Xena, we come back to you. So your sister, standing there before you, Leela, has just told you that Tara is dead. And she's looking at you, and as she says it, you can see fresh tears fall from her eyes in tracks of dirt that have long since been established. Like she's been crying about this for a very long time. And she's holding the blade and kind of heaving with emotion as she struggles to maintain the strength to hold it up to your throat.
He wants to try to walk towards them slowly and carefully. She's also crying, but she wants to hug them more than anything.
Yeah. And as you do, you push past the blade and your sister's arms. You can feel they've grown weak. You can see them. Looks like she hasn't eaten in quite a while. And you do easily push it aside. And as you come and hold her, she just collapses against you. I mean, Leela's older than you, right? She's not the oldest, you don't think. But she was always older than you and just seemed to know what to do. And having her collapse against you like this, it's hard. And Sarah, too, on the ground, hasn't stood up, is still crumpled down below. And Leela says, through the choking sobs, like, Are you real? Are you real? Are you actually real?
Yes, I'm real. And she's trying to hold back her tears too. She's squeezing her, trying to make sure she feels her warmth and all of that. And she like hand down to the ground, tries to like grab Sarah's head and like rub her and like pull her to her body and like hug her from below. I can't believe you're here. I can't believe I found you.
And you feel arms wrap around you from behind, Xena. What do you do? Like, somebody else is clearly hugging you from behind, like getting into this group hug situation, but it's not a smell, scent, person, anything that you recognize.
Not letting go of the two, she'll like kind of break to turn and see what's happening.
Yeah, and you see a woman that you do not recognize. She's tall, sort of similar looking to you, I guess, but a total stranger. As she, you know, places a firm hand on your shoulder and says, Xena, I'm so glad you came. If there was anyone who was going to save us, it was going to be you. You have no fucking idea who this person is.
Well, I hope I can help. I'm really not even sure how I got here, but I have friends. Maybe they even, if they can, get me out of here, get us all out. Do I know you?
I don't think it takes you an insight check to see the look of just hurt, like the confusion and the pain of telling someone whose family, like, I don't even know you, like that's like what flashes across. And in an instant, I think though this person feels like a stranger, you have no memories of them, you don't trust them, you realize that this might be someone who is important to you because they look just so hurt. You can't even imagine if someone looked at you like, if you made somebody look at you like that in that moment. And it fades from her face. You see her actually move a hand like in front to like banish the memories, and squeezes your shoulder tighter and says, everything here has been strange. Do you know where the Lich is? Are they still alive?
I saw it. I don't know if it's still alive, though. I assume it is.
And she looks at you and kind of unsure what to do. And Leela has like wiped, you know, tears out of her eyes and is doing the heaving thing you do when you just try to get in control of your emotions, and says, that's why we're here. We found it. We have its phylactery. If we can get out of here, we can kill it. But it put us in here. You gotta have a way out. You came in here, right? How are you getting us out? And we're gonna go ahead and jump to our Demi-Lich, their actions right now in this moment. So here, it is going to go ahead and target. So everybody who's standing. So Veronica. Is Veronica the only person standing on the field right now? Veronica,
I
the
stood up.
elemental.
Oh, you stood up?
Okay.
I stood up.
Veronica, the elemental, and Inga. I need all of you to make Constitution saving throws as this blue-eyed Demi-Lich turns its gaze on you and starts to pull the life force out of you.
18.
Unnatural 20.
Okay, 18 was a fail. 20 will succeed.
So bad. Well.
And then, you're fire elemental as well.
What is your constitution?
Oh dear. Okay. So Inga, you are fine. You fight off this life
15
drain. But both you, Veronica, and the elemental are going to lose 21 points, and you see the skull starts to knit the damage back together that it took from before as the cracks in its surface become more whole, and it just regains a shot lot of hit points. It's just nums, drains that life from you. But Veronica, as you can feel your strength like withering and feeding into this thing here, it is your turn. What are you doing?
God. Shooting arrows, but
All right.
do I have disadvantage because of the storm?
Oh, you certainly do. It's as if you had the blinded condition while it's heavily obscured, unless there's something you can do to see through that. So, oh yeah.
Oh wait, I have guidance. So 24 for the first hit.
Wow, with disadvantage. Yeah.
I have a +10 to all my attacks, so
Yes, friend.
yeah, it's just warlocky stuff. It's fine.
It's just warlock things. NBD.
And then a 23 for the second one.
Yeah.
I rolled a natural 20 on that one, and I'm really upset.
Damn kids. Yes. Yes. Yes.
24 magical damage as my arrows just right into both of its glass eyes.
Hell yeah.
Or it's crystallized.
Yes. So you are, you are hammering through this thing as you are dealing significant damage. So those cracks, you were starting to see heal. Once again, you tear them open as this thing is taking more damage. Anything else for you?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. And then, Villian's still dead. Pray, Minnie. Minnie, we come to you. Muted.
Oh, muted.
Minnie is just going to kind of blindly reach out towards where she remembers this big, giant glass ball of Mythalar being, and try to reach out and press her hand upon it and see if anything happens.
As you reach out and try to touch the Mythalar, Minnie, I don't think there is anything in your entire life that you've ever felt has so much power inherent within it. It's like reaching out and trying to touch the sun. If you touch the sun, it's really gonna hurt. You feel that. You're standing there and your hand is hovering above it. You know it. You can feel the power thrumming, and you know it's a world of possibility in front of you. But if you touch it, it's gonna hurt. Do you touch the Mythalar?
I think that moment of reflection of what we're dealing with right now crosses her mind, and the bad situation we're at. She can't fucking see anything. She's so unsure of everything around her, but she knows that she can do something about it if she accesses this power. So she will reach out and touch the sun.
Okay. And as you do, it is...
Punch the sun. I'm here for it.
The feeling of raw power you get as you touch this thing, and it is wild. It's uncontrolled because you're not attuned to it. You haven't, it's like touching. I don't think you even have any context for it, but you feel this flood of power that rushes into you, like through your hand, and you're vaguely aware somewhere in the back of your mind that your hand, the flesh is burning away as you're touching it. You know that somewhere it's eating your bones, your very material, as you are like holding on to this thing, but you have so much power. What are you doing with it?
How many things can I do at once?
I would say think of it in terms of like something you could do as like an action. Maybe even like what Minnie wants, like something that could happen. What is it you want? And I can interpret like what you could be able to do in 6 seconds of touching this Mythalar. You're not like talking god level here, but like something equivalent to a spell, something, even if it's a 9th level spell or something that you could do in action. What would Minnie do with that amount of power?
I think that she would probably try to juice up her friends all around her in such a way that she thinks they would have the power to crush that demi-lich skull from around Oral's form and rip her to shreds.
Okay. So you are channeling as you're looking into the will for your team to be able to fight this thing, to be able to fight and win, I think, is what with the Mythalar. And you feel it as that intention is like, we want to win. My friends are here and they need this. You feel the Mythalar's power flow through you like a river that wraps around your desires and manifests them. And suddenly all of you who are standing on this field here, and not only that, Xena, suddenly you can see. You can see everything around you. The shape of all of the magics interacting with you. This blizzard here, it means nothing. It is just an illusion. Like, as you are going through, you see through magic. You all have true sight. As Minnie channels her literal life force into this Mythalar, feeding it to give you all this power. You see in an instant, Xena, immediately the barriers of this prison and exactly how you could break them with even the smallest amount of magical power. And there's no way you could have seen that without this. Suddenly you understand. And all of you, you're not affected by the blinded condition. This snow, it's bullshit in the middle of everything that is happening. And not only that, you can see Arl inside this skull. And if you wanted to target her, you absolutely could. Minnie, roll me a d20.
You should get advantage.
Nope.
Some help.
You don't want her to roll high on this, darlings.
Oh,
What'd you get?
I literally rolled the word fuck. So
Oh, cool.
1.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. So Minnie, your hit point total is reduced by 20, as well as your hit point maximum in this moment. As literally your energy, your life force is being fed into this thing. These are not things you can get back. This is not something you can restore with a long rest. This is your hit point total, permanently gone, as the Mythalar eats everything you are. And you know, if you stay in contact with it, it's going to be worse next time. But you all have true sight. And this isn't like one round of true sight. This is for the rest of your fucking lives. The Mythalar has given you all true sight out to a range of 120 feet.
I see. Oh.
Wow.
Holy
We see all.
shit!
Eyeballs grow back.
No. You said the one.
No
But
regenerate.
don't lose it. Don't lose it. It's important now. So that brings us to the Demi-Lich's lair action. So in this moment, as you all suddenly, you can see once again, just in time as this Demi-Lich, possessed by this god of winter, turns and looks around and can see now Minnie is channeling this power. And you all with true sight can see the raw magical energy that is now like channeling between the Mythalar and you all, and just like blasting through Minnie is that she has become this being of light. So Minnie, in this moment, the Lich is absolutely trying to put a stop to that. So go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
14 plus 4, 18.
18. Okay. So you feel a horrible curse slithe off of you, as you don't know if it's your power or the Mythalar's. Honestly, it's the same at this point. As you are feeling it, you're like, I am invincible, as this curse just bounces off of you and you avoid its effects completely as you continue to burn bright touching this thing. The fire elemental is up to you. What's up?
Oh. Disadvantage on the attacks. Still in the air.
Yes, it is not going to receive the benefits. Minnie does not think of the fire elemental as a friend. I'm thinking.
Probably not.
In her heart of hearts. The
Uh,
Mythalar is drawing from your raw emotion.
18 for the acrobatics.
To leap up and hit
Um,
this thing. Yeah. That'll be good enough. So
Yeah,
go ahead and get that swing.
13 for the attack. So
Yeah, so you throw, a fist out of this thing once again, like fire punches through the skull and just blasts through the cracks again. And you can see that this skull, it does not have a lot of like hit points is the thing. So you're doing significant damage to it. But the damn problem is it keeps fucking regenerating for some goddamn reason. If only anyone could put a stop
we
to
all
that.
know.
If only.
Right.
Okay,
Man.
it's gonna be Gob next, but kids, I gotta get one more drink. Sorry, if you gotta get drinks too, we got it.
You're good.
We're good. We're doing it.
Oh, I've got like epic music playing. Like Minnie's just over there, like, ah! We all just feel real powerful. Oh, it's good.
Uh,
Grandma.
My body's here. My body's ready.
Man, imagine being an 84-year-old woman and suddenly you're the strongest being ever.
Right.
Suddenly, you're
Dr.
Thor.
Manhattan.
I've gotten
Whoa.
Super Saiyan, y'all.
Ah! That's all I imagine. Minnie's
All I
just
heard
there
was-
with her like tiny body, and there's just like this unlimited amount of just like magical energy just like radiating off her. Like
Her
we
little-
all just like see it. We're like, seriously, like you're the whole light show going on. Minnie's just like, it's okay, dear. Like purse still
She
hanging.
would
Like
never say it's okay, dear. She'd be like, "Fuck!"
It's my world and you're all living in it.
I just imagine like her little Santa hat like is totally pointed up and the power's going right from the little ball.
God, not
Final
the Santa
form,
hat.
yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, cocktails.
Wow.
Oh god.
Oh, man. You're a trooper, Katie.
We're almost there.
Okay.
Got
well,
you.
She wanted to go on an adventure before she died, so you know.
Got it.
What?
Tell my kids about this so they know their mom was cool.
I was so cool. Oh shit! All right, Gob, what you got for
Oh,
me?
yeah. With my, golden
True side
beacon.
of hell yeah.
I'll say thank you, Minnie. Thank you. It's, turn away from the blinding radiance. And it's this old lady. And I'll start wailing at that skull. Try to wrestle it down from the air. I think we'll see if the attack hits, and then
Yeah, I
do a
mean, I
grappling
think
strike if
I
can.
think you are more than qualified enough to leap up to this thing. It's really only hovering like 30 feet or so,
Okay.
just enough to be like, hey, I'm a problem, but like nothing for your
Gotcha.
banana
say-
pants jump. yeah.
Banana pants.
I'll go into a rage first before I do it. And then
Yes.
we're
Yes.
just reckless.
Hell yes.
Abandon. Oh, okay. 16 plus 10, 26 to hit. First hit, yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
and then,
yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
26.
I'll use a superiority die to grapple it. So that's opposed to athletics checks.
Okay. I don't have arms. Oh yes, my strength is 1. So neat.
I think I got a 19
Neat,
plus
neat,
oodles and oodles.
tight. 7.
I think it's like 30. So I think I get
I
it.
wonder who wins.
Okay.
Yeah, as you like launch,
Mhm.
you launch
Yeah.
onto the
Mhm.
skull to hover
Alright.
onto it, like, oh no, we're fighting in midair, and you just fall to the ground on top of this skull because it has nothing to hold it up. You're holding a skull.
Okay. So that first damage was 13 points of damage.
Ooh, yes,
And then I'll try to
magical
just
bludgeoning.
pile drive it into the ground.
Sorry,
Yeah,
damage really
the old
matters in this
nuts.
fight. So damage type. Okay, magical bludgeoning. Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. All right. Yeah, you
And then,
punch that
yeah,
skull.
second attack, I'll just try to land down and use its momentum to smash.
Hit
That's
you.
a 22 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, second attack.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay, 7 plus 15 points of magical bludgeoning as I,
Oh.
give it the stone.
All right. So what happens as you shatter the skull into dust? You are
Yeah.
you know you did it, and you shattered it into dust, and you see this little star, this compressed snowflake-like ice crystal that was floating up above that has been sitting in this thing's skull, and you're like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anything else you're doing on your turn? As you have burst open the skull and you are looking at this aural thing inside.
Oh gosh. Well, I got my bonus action. I probably shouldn't touch it. I mean, the thing mimed eating before. I don't know if I probably shouldn't eat or.
Go.
I'm sorry, you're gonna swallow
Can I grab
the
the
aural
snowflake?
star. I think
Can I grab it in my hand?
I think even you would realize this is a terrible idea.
It's
bad
just,
idea.
Don't
yeah.
do it.
You gotta throw spaghetti at the wall.
I am
See what-
gonna give you that success on a save. Don't
Please don't.
do it. Because
don't
this
do
is
it. No.
So this
But
is
should I not
happening
touch it?
simultaneously,
it.
right? So while you do have this moment, you can see the stars rapidly starting to grow and expand, and the swirls of bone dust don't seem to have gone away. And you feel like it's a matter of moments before something very bad
Yeah,
happens.
I've got no empty jar or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not, we won. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So you're looking at this amalgamation of dust and like ice in front of you. Like, is it over? Is it over? And all of your instincts are screaming, hell no.
Nope.
All of your animal instincts are like, nope, nope, nope. Back away, honestly, is the instinct you're
Yeah.
getting.
All right. Whatever movement I got left, then I'll just get out of the way and see. Get it.
Yeah. So yeah, you run the fuck back, and just in time, like as we come for a legendary action here, you see those like the bone dust comes up and swirls into the air as this thing like expands rapidly. This jagged shard of ice that you can see is mixed with spikes of living bone, as this thing is this horrible like spiky ball of just necromancy and elemental divinity, and it's like forming into this awful thing that seems to be growing larger and larger by the moment, as Arl seems to be claiming the regenerative powers of this lich for her very own. So Inga, you see this swelling monstrosity in the center of the space here, and Minnie burning so bright, touching that Mythalar.
We're a bit away from that weird two-dimensional door, so we're gonna have to wait on that, I think.
Yeah, that's downstairs.
She's going to reach out to Velian's cold and frozen body, and she's going to extend a hand out, and extending that fire, that pure energy that Minnie is channeling towards us. You see Inga channel this into a revivify spell into Velian, and to restore her to 1 hit point.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And you see her...
She turns to Velian and she says, "We will bring this bitch down."
What?
Velian like turns ahead, and you see it just sprays this like black bile and blood across the ground as she like opens her eyes and looks at you. And she kind of flicks her eyes
Ready.
upwards, and you can see, and Inga, I don't think in the middle of all of this any of you noticed it, but you see now as Velian is looking, Avarice is crawling on her fucking hands and knees, lifting up the trap door down below and like dropping down into and like getting the fuck out of this
Fucking
fight.
typical.
Yeah, crawling on
Goodbye.
her belly like a worm to get out of this fight. Like, it's just, you see her like the door like thud close behind her as like a tiefling hoof disappears downstairs, and she looks at you, and like through another burble of blood she said, "I'm in this to the end."
Hell yeah. And with that, she's going to turn and face towards Oral and take on her her archer form, and because of her guardian of nature, she has advantage on all attack rolls made with wisdom. So she is going to launch a radiant bolt over that way.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah, and that's a 24 to hit.
Oh shit. Yes. Yeah. Yes, honey.
And that is 12 radiant damage.
Owie. Yeah, so you hurl a bolt towards this awful amalgamation of elemental god and lich, and, you know, you blast through shards of ice and bone come flying towards you. As this thing, takes a blow, but it just continues to grow into size, seemingly unstoppable, as you do so. Anything else for you, Inga?
That's all we've got for now.
Right. Xena, we come to you. In that sudden instant, in that moment, you could see when Minnie gave you that true sight, and you don't know it was Minnie, you have no idea, but it's like some force, almost like your God, almost like your faith turned on just the clarity. You couldn't see it before, but like the seams in this place, it is so limited. It is a spell created by a desperate being, and the cracks of it are so obvious. And with one powerful spell, not even super powerful, maybe even a first or second level, you could destroy this and free all of these people.
See your holes. I see your shoddy
I see it. I see the
workmanship.
schemes. You see the schemes.
Made
I
in
see it
China, like
You trash. You trashy.
This was seriously made, literally, by somebody in mortal danger at a moment. Like if they were falling from a great height, they boomed this into existence and have just been making it work for hundreds of years. And you're like, honey, that might scare normal people, but now you can see. You see how shabby this house is from the inside.
You guys definitely managed to scare that lich. So let's get the fuck out of here now and put an end to it. And with for good measure, a third level guiding bolt spell, we're just gonna shoot at those seams.
Yeah. And you do, and you see, you know, the heart, the exact point you need to hit. And as your radiant energy shatters that weak point, this living demi-plane, created in desperation hundreds of years ago by a mage who did not want to die, shreds to pieces. And as it does so, those people, you, your sisters, this strange person, and these other strangers, all just suddenly appear in the space, and you see these 5 armored knights in front of you, looking shocked, and then one very scared looking like albino tiefling wizard who's like falling down the set of stairs. She like pulls a dagger from her belt and is like, stay away, all of you, stay away. What are you doing in this moment as it all falls apart around you?
You get out of my way. And I'm gonna like lead my sisters and tell the others to go like get out of here. Take yourselves out of here. Hopefully there's nothing, or if you want to wait, I guess you could wait, but I wouldn't stay if I was you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take Sarah and Tara, and I'm sorry, I feel like I know you. What is your name?
And there's the pause, and then the let's push through this because it's important moment that only an older sister can really convey. And she says, Tina. And
Tina.
I know you. And she looks at Leela, and Leela says, you should have this. And she like clutches your hand and puts something in it. And it's like the size of a test tube, maybe, this vial that is embellished with silver and gold. And you can see in the center of it these swirling silver motes of light. And she says to you, This is why we were drawn here. Those souls inside us, they were screaming. This was a place. Whoever used to own this, he killed so many of us. If we break this, it will be dead, and we will win, she says, and clutches, like, the side of your head in that, like, warrior's way that is so familiar, not to you because you were trained as a priest, but your sister was trained as a warrior. And she clutches your head to hers in a way she's never done before. That gesture of respect when one warrior meets another. It says, you will be the one to do this. We're behind you, sister.
We're hearing that, sister. It comforts her. She doesn't know why, but okay. Yes. Okay. Let's go, sisters. And we'll run up to the steps. And the moment she breaks through and sees everything up there, I'm going to smash that thing to the ground.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so the rest of you, Minnie is, like, burning at this, like, mythalar. The rest of you are, like, scattered across the ground, and there's a blizzard railing, and, like, you know, the knights are gone. Avarice is fucking gone. She's out. She's done. And you're scattered across this hailing, horrible landscape, and you see, like, a bunch of people who look like Xena, shining vaguely like gold, like, step out of this fucking trapdoor. And Xena, yes, you see this, like, horrible bone ice thing floating in front of you. I'm giving you an action, girl. What's up? You throwing it? You stomping it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oral, your days of frozen tyranny are over. And then she threw it on the ground.
So I have no idea what breaking a lich's phylactery would look like because D&D is too scared to give us rules. So why don't you tell me, if you were fracturing an artifact that had been created by sacrificing, consuming, and then torturing like 2,000 to 3,000 souls, what would that feel like? What would that look like?
I think it looks like, as soon as it shatters onto the ground, like a fog machine blowing out, like, I don't know, what's the measurement for gas? A lot.
Ions?
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea.
Volume?
Well,
Incredible amounts of, like, fog or mist, like ground level, pouring out of it at, like, 5 times speed. Like, it's just been so condensed for so long. And
Volume.
In volume, thank you. Incredible release of
Google.
pressure.
Yeah. And as you do, it's not only just like, that silvery mist that, seems to flow out of this, like, smoke trilling across the ground, but you can see faces, Xena, every single one in this flash, and you can hear them, the sighs and the sobs and the cries of people whose lives were stolen from them, and not only stolen, but eaten, consumed to feed this thing for hundreds and hundreds of years, that slaughtered and murdered and screamed. And you can feel that Kalishtar's soul inside you cry out, and you suddenly in an instant realize, how could I not have heard it? My sisters, who are just like me, must have heard this. All of the pain, all of the torment that is released in that single instant as you stomp. And you all see that vibrating, like, spiral thing of bone and ice shatter apart as the bones are expelled, and you hear the tower cracking beneath you as you feel its power finally relinquish, and all of those floating spires and all of this magic that has stayed animated dead in this tomb, this necropolis for thousands of years, dies in that instant as you kill the last hope of Ythrin. This being that was keeping it alive with this horrible, maddened, just rage is dead, crushed beneath your foot. And all you see in that moment is this burning winter star hanging above you. And honestly, after that, after the rage you felt and all of the horrors you have seen in this city, that don't seem like so much. After all of this, as it hangs there looking so very fragile in the air. So with that stomp, Xena, with the Demi-Lich actions gone, Minnie, we're going to come back to you. So Minnie, here you have a choice. You feel the Mythalor's power moving through you. You are perfectly aware of everything that has happened. Not just that your friend Xena stomped a thing, but you know she got out of the demi-plane. You don't know how that happened, but you know that ended. You know the city is dying. You know everything in an instant. The more you touch the Mythalor, the more you realize you see everything. You are so close to what it means to be a god. You see everything in perfect clarity. And there's a moment here where you realize that, and you realize that about yourself. And there's so much you could do if you keep touching this thing. But you know you are getting closer and closer to never being able to come back from that. Arl is still there, floating above. Your friends are still very hurt around you. The world outside this cavern is dying. You're dying. You know you don't have a lot of time left. In a perfect, clear instant, you see the end of your days. What does that look like for you? Minnie, that moment of clarity, if you were to walk away right now, what does the rest of your life look like? That's what you see spelled out before you.
That she sees exactly what she was so afraid of and why she left all of her family behind with this gaggle of strangers, is that if she walked away from here and she went home, she wouldn't be living the life that she had always wanted before she ended up sacrificing all of her desires to start a family. But she also thinks of all of her kids who actually turned out okay, even though they're little shits. And her new adopted children around her, and feeling the power coursing through her, even though she's never been one for emotions while she's there. And she knows that she could just unleash this on this main cause of pain for the people she cares about and all the people in Icewind Dale. She thinks that harnessing it to protect her family and innocent people feels like maybe the happiest she's ever felt, with that possibility at her fingertips.
Fuck yeah. And with that behind you, and with an uncertain other future, what the hell do you do with round 2 of Mythalor power? So last time I said, think something you could do 6 seconds. Anything within the 9th level realm of power. Think a little bit bigger right now. As you have the second round of infinite power. Not like God infinite power, but like, this is, think on the level like a real archmage of this empire could think. You know, they had floating cities. They could create people. They could, you know, redefine the fabric of magic. They think on that level. What is it that Minnie wishes? What is it that the Mythalar sees in you, and how can it enact that?
I think that it sees that even through all of her coarseness, she really wants to just protect her kids in whatever form that is. So I think that instead of a big, powerful burst or anything, she wants to essentially like leave behind all these people in her life with the strength that they deserve. So I think that like for each of her friends who are here, she wants to give them, you know, the attributes that she sees in them, like the strength behind Gob and the sheer magical force behind Veronica, and just that wholesome nature behind Inga, and that just purity of heart behind Xena and everybody. She wants them to be able to exemplify that for the rest of their lives. So some form of being able to take what they're best at and use that power to protect everything and themselves and be the best that they can be when she's likely gone is what she wants for them.
All right.
I love you, Minnie.
My feelings. I wasn't ready.
Shut up.
And
Grandma.
Mythalar reads that love and that desire. And I think you feel for the first time that the Mythalar, I mean, it's such a powerful thing. You don't know how you saw it before, but the Mythalar is sentient. It is not just an artifact. It is an artifact of magic itself. It is like part of the weave that you were holding here. And even though the weave was broken and abused by Netheril, you wishing and pouring your hopes for your friends and your loved ones into it, it seems to respond so graciously to that request, especially after so long of just abuse. And as it does so, you feel more of you. I mean, it was burning away. Maybe it hurt before, but now you're in. You're in. You and the Mythalar are inseparable as you feel your love pouring out towards your friends. So all of you are going to gain the invulnerability spell at this point. This is a 9th level spell. You are immune to all damage until the spell ends for 10 minutes, as all of you feel everything in you is so much more than you ever thought it was. Protecting you, shielding you as you're facing off with this god. Minnie, go ahead and roll me 2 d20s.
19 and 10.
Okay. All right. So, 29 points of damage, reducing your hit point maximum, and all 29 of those points as more and more of you is burned and burned and burned away. What are you at? Out of curiosity, what's your total?
Amen. Oops. Let's see. Oh, I am at 22.
All right. So
Pretty good.
you all see Minnie is, it's hard to see around the light actually, but she looks smaller. She looks emaciated, like she is being corroded away by this light, almost like she's dissolving into it as you all feel so powerful. I think right now, at this level, with everything you have going on, let's go ahead and give me like a superhero moment of what it is like. Like, what do you do on each of your turns to like channel your full fucking power? Let's not worry about rolls, but like, what is the thing your character would do in this moment at full ass power? Like, going up about a roll, you are immune to damage for 10 minutes. Like, the amount of love and support you've gotten here, this is something this defies mechanics. So looking at this here, like, Veronica, let's start with you. Then we're going to go to... Did you extend this to Velian? Katie? Would Minnie have reached out? Was Velian on the list?
10 HP.
She's all right.
Stop dying.
No, I feel like after the heart-to-heart moment she shared before, yeah, she considers her a close friend.
All right. So then let's start with Veronica. I'm going to do Velian. And then we'll move Gob, Inga, Xena. I want to hear, what is it?
So
what is your Super Saiyan moment?
So I totally thought it was funny because I was waiting for my turn because I rolled for both of my attacks and I
shit.
got 2
Amazing.
natural 20s.
Okay, so then fucking just
like,
tell us. And like within realm of possibility too, like imagine best case scenario. What is your fucking ideal turn, Veronica? What are you doing to this like stupid snowflake who's been goddamn terrorizing you this whole goddamn campaign?
Oh, so Veronica's like has her bow like ready. The arrow's been pulled back. She sees Xena come up and to like smash this thing, and all of a sudden, all of these like soul bits and wisps are just kind of floating around. She kind of looks around, looks up at the crystallized creature that is Oral, pulls back as hard as she can, thinks about every single one of her friends and everything that they've been through, and just lets that arrow fly. And she just wishes that every single soul here like helps her out in order to destroy the thing that not only held them hostage but has been tormenting like their ancestor, or not their ancestors, but like their children and their children's children. Like she just watches that arrow fly as all the souls latch onto it and just pierces right through that giant crystal there.
Yeah, and as that happens,
super anime moment.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you feel, I mean, that all that eldritch energy you felt crawling through, all of that suffering and that horror, all of these things that were kept here and like used seem to crawl through the cracks of this tower as its power is melting and channel into that bow with the final like fuck you to the to the Netherrealm Empire behind your weight as you burst through this like blast of crystal. And then that is gonna bring us down to so Velian at this moment, she's at 1 HP, right? Like with Inga, she crawls like on her hands.
All you need.
Pushes herself upwards here, and you see she sort of coaxes her hands up. This very arthritic gesture, and you can see these ghostly spirits move from the fog and the ice and start to just climb up one another, hundreds in number, as these specters, these spirits, start to clutch at the bottom of this crystal, and you see them hand after hand of these angry undead start to pull this polar star down closer and closer to the ground from its floating position and just dogpile. And you swear you see the ghost of Nas Lentimir right there in that final blow. She just scratches her ghost nails across the surface of this thing, dealing a goddamn well-deserved vengeance blow. And then Gob, what are you doing with all the light of Minnie channeling beyond you?
I guess I would, just whisper and say, "Oh, thanks, Grandma," and look toward. So the crystal
has been dragged now down to the ground by these like crawling spectral figures that Velian has summoned.
I think Gob would just take off at a dead run, and just launch himself off the edge of the tower and just do like the double fist Iron Giant thing and go just be a human rocket towards the center of the crystalline entity.
Hell yeah.
Crush it, Gob. You hear Veronica yell out from behind you.
Superman.
And as you were punching and like tearing into this thing, you would just hear shattering, like if you a chandelier, like this massive chandelier, right, was exploding from blast to blast, and you have to close your eyes honestly as this is happening because like shards of glass, ice are flying, but you are punching through this thing at it. God, it's so satisfying This thing has killed and tortured so many people, and finally, as you're just nailing through this thing, Inga, we come to you. Inga, who may have been the most affected by this fallen star of winter, this thing that upset the entire natural world, almost killed your people, all the creatures, all the plants here dragged down on the ground in front of you, fallen.
I think she would actually hold her action until after. I feel like having Xena get the final blow for having her blessing taken away, for having her sister's memory of one of her sisters removed. Inga would want to save that sort of final like killing blow for Xena, to have that revenge, to have that justice for her sisters, because she has something that she wants to save that power for the moment after Arl is dealt with.
So you wait, Inga. You see your enemy falling before your friends. It is not the moment. You wait. Xena, then it is up to you. What is the killing blow? And it's not just you, Xena. You have a lot of angry sisters around you. You don't know exactly why, exactly how they were brought here. But you know, just like you, they have always dedicated their lives to finding evil and to stopping it. And the fact that they are here and you are here, of course it's no coincidence. So you have three of your sisters around you. So you feel the fourth missing. But there. And the way Kalishtar do, the souls are never really gone. What do you and your four sisters do in this moment?
I think we each take out our weapon of choice. Tina and, well, I don't know what Tina's, but Tara brings out her greatsword. I have my mace. Sarah has her crossbow. And I turn back to all of them and I say, this is for Tara.
And they nod.
Let's go get her.
Hell yeah.
And we'll all run, charge her. And as I strike, I also would like to cast Holy Weapon onto my mace.
Hell yeah. I think
And
most of your sisters do the
strike
same,
her.
either or throwing down their smites, because half of them are paladins, half of them are clerics, and between you all, you fucking light up a goddamn room in the worst, most destructive way possible. You are raining hell down on this evil god who dared to try and define an entire people. And as you smash and smash and smash, you feel, especially you, I think Xena, who was born during midwinter and had that connection to Arl. It's gone. She's gone. As the last bits of it are crystallized into dust. This being is gone. This thing that has plagued you, and you've seen it one form, two forms, now the third. It wasn't until now that you all actually felt that chill that had moved into your hearts dissipate for the first time. And Inga, please tell me, what is it you do with your held action in this moment?
With Oral's third form finally defeated, with all of what we've been through come to this sudden and sort of bitter conclusion, you see Inga's form grow white hot in this almost swirling sort of hurricane of pure raw energy as she is channeling these just the amazing power from Minnie, from the Mythalar, from the Weave, from everything that she's learned. And in this supernova moment, like her whole form expands, and there's just the shadow of her that remains for an instant. And all of the spirits in this place, all of the undead that reside within here, all of the people across generations from thousands of years ago to those who have given their lives now, and the way that we look to the stars and we peer into the past like in a time machine, she channels that stellar energy and she lays them all to rest. And there is the silence of an unmarked grave that passes through this place in a stillness that could only be at this moment.
And as you do, and you reach out to the stars, to the heavens, to everything, and in that moment you felt the tower die, and that lich die, and that haunting memory of that star, that ebon star weaving in the sky, and as you throw everything you have behind it, and that moment of silence comes, you feel like you, being here in this moment, was exactly where you needed to be to stop that star from spinning. And something about you being here, something about your friends, something about this moment, it was written. And suddenly that star map you've carried makes so much sense. And that silence lasts for just a moment. That calm assures you, and I think reaches everyone except for Minnie, who's still burning as you touch this Mythalar. And now, before Minnie, you were vaguely aware that, like, of what was going on, and you understood it, you saw it, like you were, looking through a microscope. You were God looking down at the scenario and seeing everything, and all of a sudden it occurs to you that it's all getting lost. It's all getting lost in fire and light, and you don't have much time. If you let go now, maybe there's a chance for you. But then you'd never know this again. But if you stay, you could do anything. Minnie, if you stay for 6 more seconds, you could do anything. But then you would be gone. If you let go now, you could live. If you stay, you could do anything, but you would be gone. What do you do?
Her hands placed on the Mythalar, but have in her mind's eye an image of the one person who she's wanted to be with for so long, all these past years. And she sees her husband's face in all this chaos and magic. And that makes sense to her. And I think that she just leans in further, ready to just go out with a bang, to be with the person she loves through whatever magical means, even if it's something more spiritual in the end. Right now, she just doesn't care what makes sense, but she knows that she can have whatever she wants, and that's what she wants.
And you go. You all see Minnie burn away. There's nothing left. It's not like dust. It's not like she, is incinerated, whatever. She's just, the light just eats her, and she's gone. And Minnie, in that moment, you get everything. Everything you ever thought it could be. That is the rest of your existence. The Mythalar gives that to you as a gift for what you've done, the way you used it selflessly. And that is the end of Minnie. And I think very quickly after that, a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff happens because, I mean, kids, you
There's
killed
so many things.
Yeah, I mean, you killed the Demi-Lich of this place. Arl, the Frostmaiden, is dead. The Demi-Lich is gone, so that means Netheril starts to crack and fall apart at the seams. So this ruin that was playing at being, you know, a ruin is actually dead. The magic starts to die across. So all of these aberrations and ghosts and things that have haunted and stalked this place for hundreds of years without Arl to keep them there, like frozen in ice, and, you know, Irielothis's, like, fear of letting go, they just wither. It all starts to wither. And it will not be long before the Mythalar starts to wither as well. But you have time. You have time if you want, the rest of you who have lived, if you want to call in other mages, if you want to use it, to safely use it, to bring an end to winter and make sure Arl can never fucking come back. You can absolutely use it to do that before it dies.
Oh no,
Throw my
that's
hands on that
totally
so
a
fucking
thing.
fast.
Yeah,
Hell
all of us
fucking
together,
yes.
like
Yeah.
mm-mm.
So
Sure.
between all of you, between Velian and people you can call in into the middle of this dying thing, you managed to use the Mythalar to break this cycle. Not only ending winter for now, but ensuring that this area, this space, can never be affected by magic like this again. You have restored this place, and it is safe. It is safe. And Netheril will never come again. Thank God. So with that, you've done it. Icewind Dale is safe.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Minnie is gone. The people of 10 towns begin to thrive. They can rebuild their lives again. Inga, your people have a chance again. The local population's wildlife start to be restored. They're not just... It's a total reversal of environmental disaster. Something we will never actually see in our lifetimes, but something you have done. And so with that, what do you do? I mean, what the hell do you do? I think, Gob, let's start with you. What is your journey now? Icewind Dale is
man.
saved.
You know, he'd left home to, you know, make a name for himself and try to, you know, do some noteworthy deeds. And, you know, that all may have happened, but it became less about, you know, the goal and more about the journey, you know, all that cliches. But I think Gob is very keen to get home back to the dwarves, and you know, he's got perspective now, and wants to show, you know, Veronica his roots, and comes from a clan of very powerful women, and he should be right at home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Veronica, I mean, how do you respond to this proposal? What is your future? Like, does that include visiting all of Gob's?
Just for a little bit.
Yeah, no, Veronica is all about it and will go with Gob and will be the most pristine when she needs to be, and then murder everyone else who tries to be ridiculous. Yeah, no,
Right,
I'll
yeah.
cut them.
Nassim, tell me, what does life look like now? I think you realize the story very quickly. It's much more complicated than this, but your sisters, just like you, have always been really in tune with imbalances in the world. And they felt, their Kalashtar souls felt people crying out in pain. This phylactery drew them. to this place, and before they knew it, most of them were trapped, and one of your sisters gave their life. But at the end of the day, you all won. A lot of souls were laid to rest, and you found each other again. Most of you, anyway. So what's the next step for Xena and her sisters?
I think there's a lot of reacquainting happening with her and Tina first.
Yeah.
And eventually I can see them going around building hospitals in Tara's name.
Yeah.
Like hospitals, medical facilities, things like that, pharmacies, places that people can go to get better or seek help when they're not there to help them.
Yeah. And I mean, Icewind Dale is a great place to start after the dragon attacks and all they've been through.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good place to start. And you've got miles to go, but you're not alone. You're not alone. Then Inga, what the hell does it look like when you go back to your tribe, your family, a fucking hero? You've fixed not only the world, but the stars. And I don't know if that's something Inga would even communicate or want to. That's a lot. What does she even say?
I think she keeps the secret of the stars to herself.
Yeah.
Because
That's a lot.
she only saw this from such a particular vantage point that she would never even want to burden anyone else with the thought of that being a possibility. And so she would tuck that achievement away, knowing that they've buried another city, but knowing there might be still others laying in rest.
Mm-hmm.
She would write the secrets of what she has known. But first and foremost, before she gets anything else done, she returns to Hathawin with the shamans of the Elk tribe, and they find a way to pull that dryad and her arbor from that hellhole and into the air and into the sunshine for the first time in millennia.
It's making me fucking lose my shit. Yep, that's
Right? I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm not wearing mascara. I don't care. Like,
and you, yeah, in doing so, and in keeping that horrible secret, I mean, you have made such an ally of this dryad. Whatever you need, whatever you want, and she like even the mages from before that time, it's like dealing with like a primordial dryad, right? And where she says, "You give me land, an orchard will grow in a day." Like this is it's the gratitude and everything she can express, and it. Yeah,
I imagine without the negativity of like oral like hoarding, like, you know, like laboring over this area, I just like imagine she, you know, like there's this beautiful vineyard of grapes that grows from this dryad, and just, you know, Inga and this dryad live together, and they have perfect little fae babies who come up as different weird fae.
Foals and tree people. They're beautiful. Oh my god, I love it. It's a happy ending. And I think one last thing I think we see before we end this campaign. Minnie, you've created for yourself this perfect end. That's what the Mythalar gave to you. So what is this? What is just a scene, I guess, in the life of this eternity? You know? It's probably something simple. It's probably something day to day. We've heard so much about Biddy. What is? Where are we?
Minnie has everything that she wanted to have and everything that she grew to love all in one place. So in her perfect reality, she and Biddy are spry and young again, and it's just them and their whole family and all the friends that they had made through their lives, all adventuring together through these insane archaeological digs, and every day learning something new and growing together as a unit for her little happily ever after.
And it will continue like that forever, because that's the power of a Mythalar. And with that, gang, you've successfully saved Icewind Dale and completed Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden. You won. You won, you big damn heroes. You done it. Congratulations, everybody. We have finished the finale of our campaign, episode 22, the final episode of our playthrough. Just real quick, I will say, you know, Velian from this point, because he resurrected her and because Avarice was such a butt and like ran the hell out of there, Velian told everyone, obviously, has been promoted to Archmage of Necromancy since then. She's been working with you all closely to make sure Avarice has absolutely no fucking say in what happens with Netherese technology, and has absolutely been working with you, Inga, to be like, yo, are there other cities? Because this sucks and we should stamp this is a issue. So safe studying, all good. But yes, we have done it. Before we do outros, we've been here for so long, so let's open up that dice giveaway, everybody. Oh my god, we're giving away this set of dice.
I hope there's
Whoa! If anybody is still here, wow, look at these beautiful dice. Joe has generously donated a set of handmade, beautiful polyhedral dice every single fucking episode, and this is our culmination here. So we had that code word. So Sage, let's go ahead and pull that winner.
It is Life is Bard.
Oh my god, Life is Bard! Wow, well,
Very
we know
nice.
you, and you're always around in the Discord, so even if you're not awake right now, go ahead and make sure you get those dice.
It's fine.
We got
Well,
you.
there.
It's fine.
Bard! You rock our socks. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you won in the finale. That was awesome. Okay, thank you all so much for joining us. I know I am so sad to say goodbye to these wonderful characters in this campaign, but I am thrilled to be here and like so privileged to not only like be part of writing this book, but also play with my best friends in the whole world. This is so great. So thank you all. Thank you all so much. I have been your dungeon master, Celeste Conowitch.
I'm Joe. I've been Gob Herkenstone.
I'm Katie, and I was Minerva Tinkerbobble.
I'm Nassim, and I was your Kalishtar cleric, reunited but not totally whole, Xena Orendi.
And I am Sage, and I was trying to come up with something that has like a D alliteration, but I cannot.
It's okay. We've been playing for so long. It's been a lot of feelings.
It's been like 5 hours.
It's been 5
I'm
hours.
your
No one
druid
knows.
of the stars of today and yesterday and beyond, Inga Selenin.
And I'm Vincent, playing Veronica Carnell, your arrow-wielding tiny werewolf husband having
Tiny werewolf.
I do.
tiny husband werewolf husband.
Oh, he does. Oh God. Well, thank you all so much. It is so late, so I'm not going to keep you. But damn kids, if you like this, please subscribe, please follow, please like. We were going to be back next week, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, with an episode of Venture Maidens, our main campaign. But that's it for Rime of the Frostmaiden. So if you want to listen to the backlog, go to Patreon, subscribe there. Super cool. You can see all our episodes on YouTube. But I think I speak for us all when I say let's fucking blast off, everybody. And until next time,
Stay
frosty. Oh my God, that's
Goodbye.
it. We're not chilly anymore. Bye-bye.
Been a
Bye.
pleasure.
Winter's over.
Bye.